Hello and welcome to another wonderful, fantastic episode of DrawBomb.
We had some more adjectives, but we ran out. So you get wonderful and fantastic, and we're waiting for the store to resupply.
I'm trying to, not use up all the adjectives I know in one episode. Gotta stretch it out into like 3 or 4.
Yeah, you don't want to use up all your adjectives before you even got out the door. You know what I mean?
It's the spice of language. It's the
That's
flavor.
Right.
Wait,
and
what
then
would you
adverbs
say is...
are the cumin.
Okay, but that's also a spice. So now this is getting convoluted, but so is the English language.
This is true.
It's a real mess.
I read somewhere that the English language is obviously very, very hard to learn. Not the hardest one to learn, but a very hard language for like non-English speaking people to like really fully get a grasp of. But I also read that, and that was like the same. This is like the same blurb. But they were like, yeah, but also it's considered the most. What was it, like efficient? Like you can get the most information across in like the least amount of talking, apparently. Which I mean, I kind of believe that. I've seen some. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but I've seen some like TV shows in like foreign languages, and they'll say for like a whole minute something, and it's them being like, "Go down the store," or something like that.
Okay, I see. That statistic really found a way to pat ourselves on the back in multiple ways. It's like, not only are we very smart for being able to learn this very complicated language, but it's also the best one. Way. No, I know. I'm just joking. I don't even know who did the study. So
I don't even know if I believe that. So I'm sure there's
it might be
some
true.
other languages. Joking. Oh yeah, no, I
know. But yeah. So good job, us. We did it.
Oh yeah, the English language. You say like us, but like we speak like a bastardized version of it, like
of the English language.
Yeah, it's not even spelled the same as it. Like like how they used to have like ye old shop and stuff like that on their signs. Like that was like ye
old
was
English.
how they used to spell the word. Yeah, it's how they used to spell the word the and things like that. Like there's
Well, all languages change with time and culture and stuff.
Language is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like, it's not the same language that English was when it first came about.
True. Very true. Try to read some like Shakespeare now, like the way it was written, and it's just like, whew, this is dense.
I tried reading the Canterbury Tales a couple years ago, and
it was like, an easy read.
It was easier than Shakespeare, but it rhymed in couplet format, but it didn't make it like easier to like. I had to still Google like every other word.
Yeah, that's why I don't read.
Yeah, if I wanted to read, I'd fucking go to the internet.
I'd go to the nerd store.
That's right.
And buy the fuck you. I'm not reading.
Yeah. I'm not reading this dumb shit.
I like to read, but I haven't read anything like in a while. Like, I mean, I read every day, but I haven't read like straight up like a novel in a while.
It's been a little bit. Like I ended last year by finishing 2 books for the year, and like the first book was, and they were both books that somebody had lent me. As like the pandemic was about to happen, so they were both kind of like pandemic books. And
it's a great time to read. It's the pandemic. I don't know why I didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
In hindsight, really there's a lot of things I could have accomplished then, but instead I just had panic attacks.
Weird how that happens. But yeah, and so I read those 2 books, and I talked about them on the show when I was reading them. I don't feel like going over them again. And then as I was reading those 2 books, like even before I started reading them, like I was just like existing, and like people would fucking give me books to read. They'd be like, you should read this. And I was like, okay. So then as I was reading those 2 books, my dad gave me 2 books to read, and then my brother gave me a book to read, which he has since taken back because he was like, you haven't read this yet. And I was like, no, I haven't. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to take it back. And I was like, okay, but I do want to read it.
You missed your chance.
I missed my chance. And then when I was visiting you guys in Chicago, I got 3 more books. So wow. People were just giving me fucking books left and right.
See, that's my problem. Not enough people give me books, so that's why I don't read.
Yeah, but that'll do it.
It's everyone else's fault.
That's right.
What's that? Libraries are a thing in just about every city? Shut up.
Yeah. Get off my case, books.
I got a library card last year, and I just received the memo that that is now... I have to renew that, and I never used it once, so shame on me.
I have to imagine library cards are kind of like gym memberships, where like a bunch of people get them, and they're like, I'm gonna make some changes this year, and then they just never go, and then like that's free money for that institution.
Yeah. I mean, library cards, at least the one... I live in the county, so it's free.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think there's
I don't know if the plan is the same everywhere, but
yeah. I mean, libraries are technically public institutions, so they're not really owned. Like, there's no libraries that are like public libraries that are owned by like a person or anything like that. So I think they're mostly paid for with taxes.
It's a bunch of socialist mumbo jumbo, if you ask me. Doing stuff for people and the betterment of society, it's bullshit. I won't have
Unless
it.
you're gonna tell me that we're giving like school lunches to children and shit. Like, fuck that.
Ugh.
Gross. Those kids are poor. They should have gotten a job instead of being poor.
Right. When I was 4 years old, I was working at the factory, and that's how I got fed.
Yeah.
Wait,
even
that's
though
not
3
true.
of my
It's
buddies
just
died.
yeah.
Actually, yeah. Like if it was like, if it was somebody who worked in a factory, they would probably like that was probably so long ago now they would be like dead. But the people who like I think directly benefited from labor strikes and things like that are the ones who are paying us so shitty now. So it's kind of weird how that all works out.
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah, weird. Weird how that goes.
But their portfolios are looking very, very good.
Oh yeah, no, their portfolios are great. Like, I mean, you saw like those leaked papers and like how little they pay in taxes and stuff. Like, they're doing fucking fine.
Yeah, so, in case you're worried about them, they'll be okay.
Yeah, they paid less taxes than you. It's all good. How have you been lately?
I've been good. We've been busy. We've had weddings the past 2 weekends. So, we've been doing that. It's been fun.
Yeah, it was funny because like when I told Kyle and Austin like that you were at a wedding when they were like, oh, we should do a movie night, and I was like, Rand's at a wedding, and they were like, oh, like the same one, another one, and I was just like, I think it's a different one.
It is a different one. They didn't do a do-over the following week.
Shame.
I know.
That's one thing weddings are missing is like the chance to relive the night a week later.
Right. You know what you need after spending all your money on one party? Do it again a week later.
Exactly. So, tell us about these people who got married. Where do they live? What are their names? What's their social security number?
All right, everybody got a pen?
I got one around. I think.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 4.
Okay.
6, 1.
Okay, we should stop there before we list an actual social security number.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think you need more information than just a random number to actually steal someone's identity.
I mean, sometimes, but like a lot of.
Don't you
like,
at least need the name to go with it?
You probably do, but also if you have the social security number, there's still a lot of shit you can probably get through before somebody's like, hey, I should probably find out some more information about you. Like, it depends on who you get at the place.
Matty F in the chat, dropping some
scat
men. It appears to be scat men. I'm not sure.
It says scat men.
Oh, it does. Okay, I forgot you can check that. And then also.
And we also have Van Fleb in the chat, and they posted, it looks like an emoji of a pen. So that's them getting their pen out.
Oh, they're getting their pen,
Social security number. I guess if someone got their pen out, we should give the rest of that social security number.
Yeah, it would be rude not to. Anyways, people were... The first wedding, Morgan, my roommate, who I'm also engaged to, is... She was in the wedding, and I just got to go. I didn't really know that many people there. But that was fun. It was a good time. It was one of her friends from school.
Nice.
And then Maddie says, Van Pleb is Morgan, by the way. You're Morgan, not my Morgan. But I do know that.
I did know that. I don't...
We tend to use people's like tags just in case they don't want to be doxxed.
Exactly. We don't like to dox our...
Not that using just your first name is... But I did list her social security number right before that.
Yeah, list her
so
social
that's
security
the problem.
number. Then let's get her last name so that we can all just get the full picture here before we start calling banks and credit cards and things like that.
Right. But yeah, so that was fun. And then we went to one this past weekend, which was one of my roommates from college, and he was getting married, and that was very fun as well.
So was that one of the roommates I knew, or is that a different?
I think it was the one you'd never met.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't think he was there when you were there.
Well, then I don't even care. Then that guy can
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
suck a dick.
You gotta. Your heart is ice cold, Ian.
I am. That's what they told me. They were like, "Damn, Ian, your heart is ice cold. We should really, as doctors, do something about that." And I was like, "Nah, doc, just put that shit on ice again."
I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Okay, that's a cool guy right there.
Literally, he's going to die.
Yeah, he is cold as ice, and his skin will soon be a similar temperature as the blood stops coursing through his veins. Anyways,
This is all direct quote, right?
this is all direct quote. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
It's in my doctor's file, quotation, and it's citations, sources cited as well. So the doctor is even credited for having said that. Because it was a pretty great line. I mean,
see, fact checkers are always on our ass about the stuff we say on the show, but we have the evidence.
They should be, because we almost on a weekly basis say something that is factually inaccurate, and then I learn later, like, shit, that was wrong.
This show's about learning and growing.
This show is about learning. We do all the learning after we stop streaming, though, so you don't get to see that part of the process.
You know. They don't need to see how the sausage is made.
That's right.
How about you, Ian? How's your week been since we last drew bombs?
God. Every fucking week feels the same. Aside from like what's going on around the world and things like that. But yeah, I don't have much to report. What sort of yeah, I got nothing. What sort of shows you been watching and shit like that? Like what? Let's do the pop culture catch up that we always do. That sort of ends up making up most of the show. Let's talk about the pop culture. What you been popular culturing?
I've kind of been. I haven't watched much stuff in a minute.
Wait.
I know, really? It's hard to believe, right? You're like, you didn't do your. Crazy. You're supposed to do this for the show.
Yeah,
preparation.
We sit down after every show, and we're like, okay, like, what are you gonna watch now? Let's hear it, and then we like run through a list of media we're going to.
It's like, oh, you're gonna watch 3 more seasons of Frasier? Perfect. That'll make for a gripping episode next week.
Oh man, if you could just talk about King of the Hill for a full 2 hours, that would be just fucking fantastic.
For months.
Oh shit, I forgot to mute.
You muted it after your cough.
I muted it after I coughed. Well, I coughed some more.
Oh, okay.
I actually muted myself, and then I hit the unmute button again by accident. Coughed, said I'm sorry, muted myself, coughed some more. And I hope I'm unmuted. Usually this is where I leave myself muted for like 30 minutes, and you guys are like, Ian, are you alive? And I'm like, shit.
It's become almost like a little game that we play.
It has been, actually.
Because Ian just disappears for like 20 minutes, and then we're like, are you muted, Ian? And then all of a sudden, like, we hear like a click, and then he goes like, damn it! I've been talking to you guys for like 20 minutes and just assuming my jokes aren't landing or whatever.
Well, I usually just assume you guys are ignoring me, which is fair because a lot of people
we would never.
Me, and also, like, half of the shit I say is very ignorable anyways. So, I mean, it all works out. It usually becomes noticeable if, like, there's a lot of situations where I'm like, hey guys, like someone's like, hey man, who's this guy who does this thing? And I'll be like, oh, that's so-and-so. And then you'll be like, the person will be like, gosh, I just wish I could find that name. And I'll be like, it's so-and-so. God, does anyone know? And I'm like, it's so-and-so. And then I'll look, and I'm not muted, actually. You guys are ignoring me that time. And that's what really muddies the water.
Sometimes I do that on purpose to be funny to myself. I guess it's only funny to me, but...
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're like given the answer and everyone's just like, "What is this thing?"
There's no audience that's important besides myself. I'm just the goal is just to make myself laugh at everybody else's expense.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, you should be telling every joke for yourself first, and then, you know, other people are just sort of in the room as you're making yourself laughed. That laughed, like I just said it in past tense. Anyways, other people should be in the room as you make yourself laugh, and that's usually how I go about it.
I'm just such a tastemaker that as long as I'm making myself laugh, I'm sure other people will be too, because if I think it's funny, so will the masses.
Yeah. I mean,
I just have a really quality sense of humor.
You're the funniest guy I know.
Exactly. The funniest guy I know too. So it's just like,
boom, look at that.
You know, you gotta just. That's how I do it.
You just gotta go for it. I mean, if you don't find a joke funny, like, do you think there's like stand-up comedians who like it's not like their 60th time telling the joke, so like it's like old hat at that point, but they're like their first time. I mean, I'm sure there are, but there's like a stand-up comedian and he like writes a joke and he's just like, damn, this fucking joke is unfunny.
I hope for like my own sanity that like that's Larry the Cable Guy when he goes back behind the stage. He's like, fuck. He's like, pays the bills, but this shit's like that's not even his voice. That's a character.
Oh,
he's just he's just a guy.
Yeah, I see.
There's like old '80s stand-up where he's just like a dude who's like, airline food and stupid. And he's like, God, it's not working. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I talked about the airline food. People still are not biting. What if I stuck a piece of toilet paper to my shoe? Then would my jokes land? And the answer is yes.
What if I just growled everything like I was in the middle of drinking a beer at all times and wore an awful shirt?
It'd be funny to me if some of those like kind of like Jeff Dunham, like the people that I think are kind of hacky, it would be hilarious if they also did too, and they were like, "This is such
there's
bullshit."
Gotta be some of them, right? Like you got
at least to some extent. At least to some extent.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's actually like, I feel like anytime I watch a TV show about like, or it's like there's some kind of plot in something about a comedian who has either attained success or during the course of the thing achieves like success, like usually I feel like every single one of those shows will then be like, oh, but he doesn't even think he's lost the spark. He doesn't even think his own stuff is funny anymore. You know, I feel like.
But
what?
I agree that would definitely be a thing. But you mentioned like not. You said not in the scenario. It wasn't people like telling the joke for the 100th time or whatever.
Right, but like you know, like in Funny People, it's about Adam Sandler, and he's not telling like jokes for the 100th time, but he is like starring in a bunch of shitty movies that he thinks suck.
Oh yeah, well movies are a different thing. I guarantee there's a ton of comedians that are in movies that they think suck, or just not even comedians, just people in general in movies they think suck because they're like, oh, you're paying me what? Yeah, sure, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, I would do
but
that.
you know, I feel like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you're right. But there's gotta be some comedians who are just like, this is the shit that sells, fucking put it down, write it.
Who can blame them?
What was that?
Who can blame them?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get that bag.
Right.
I think pretty much anybody who is like, I don't want to say like an on-camera presence, but who has in some shape or form been involved, not in like broadcasting, but just sort of like media. Like if you're, I don't know how to phrase this. If you're like on camera or if you're writing shit, I feel like after like a certain point, like the like wow sort of wears off, and you're just like shit. Okay, let's just wow. It's like shit. Okay, I gotta get this fucking episode of Saturday Night Live done before Saturday.
I imagine that happens quite a bit, especially when it's like your job, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to. I mean, I think it's hard to have a job that you're passionate about and stay fully passionate about. At a certain point, it becomes somewhat of a slog, even if it's the thing you love.
I have to imagine. Want to see something weird?
Yes.
By the way. So I'm gonna make a marquee selection of this box, and then I'm gonna hold shift because normally what that does is that keeps the aspect ratio the same, right?
True. Oh, well, in this app, it makes it stretch, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it stretches it. Because what it wants to do is it wants to shrink the top at a different speed. So, like, the only way you get, like, an actual aspect ratio shrinkage is if you make it a perfect square. I don't even know if that works. Oh, and I just deleted my drawing I was working on. Okay. Whatever. Anyways, it's done. Get your shit together, draw pile. I swear to gosh. How big should this DrawBomb be compared to this?
I don't know. I was just about to make the fish bigger.
Okay, let me just do. So you haven't watched a ding dang thing, huh? Am I gonna have to carry this whole segment by myself?
Yeah, if we're doing the pop culture thing, you will. We should start doing spooky season movies, though.
Well, we have been. We've been doing.
That's true.
You know, we've been doing the Final Destination films, which we're on the last one. So
oh yeah, we haven't finished it yet.
Puppy off. No.
Oh boy, that's exciting.
And then up next, we have to finish *Malignant* before October 10th.
Yeah.
Because then it goes off HBO. Which I'm willing to say, you know, if it gets to be the point where it's like 2-3 days away,
yeah,
let's
fucking
go
that
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it's awful, and I'm excited to see it. So.
I'm excited too. With the way that it was described, it sounds like it's the kind of bad that we were looking for. So, yeah. I'm always for that.
Leviathan Den in the chat says, "Hey, lip bombers."
Hey, hey,
you get
lip
lips
bombers.
in the chat for.
Lips in the chat, yeah, lip bomber. I get it. It's pretty good.
What about lip balmers, like lip balm? Did you guys?
I think
you
that's
guys think
what
about that.
I think that's what he's doing, dude. Like,
But I'm just gonna piggyback off it so that it seems like I'm funny too.
oh my god, that's what a lot of funny people do.
Yeah.
Not about who was first, it's about who was second.
It says watching you in VR on the Valve Index. You're larger than life. That I've never. This is the closest we've ever been to your face, and I'm honored.
Yeah.
We're right up in there.
I've been closer.
No, we're
to
like
his face. I mean,
we're inches away from his pupil right now.
oh,
Not
yeah,
even inches.
I wouldn't get that,
centimeters.
I wouldn't get that close to his face, probably. Probably wouldn't do that in real life. VR, sure, whatever. I mean,
it's like we're there.
Gotta be like. I feel like this is not a great show to watch in VR because then you're just like, all right, well, guess I'm gonna watch these guys draw one drawing.
I would watch this in VR. I disagree with you. I think it's a great thing to watch. How do you like the Valve Index? I've had my eye on it for a while. I probably would have bought it during COVID if I had space for it. I don't really have a room. I would punch a hole in my screen or the wall, or I'd run through a window or something.
When it comes to VR, it's like having the area to do it. Like you gotta.
I want one really badly.
They look fun.
Look very fun.
So you know, I've been talking to you about it, but I started watching The Sopranos.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one to talk about.
It's a good show. I did not realize, like, as I was watching The Sopranos, like, I got an ad at the beginning of the thing being like, coming soon to HBO Max. What is it, like, it's got like a whole, it's like Telltale Heart of the Place, the Tony Soprano story, or whatever. I guess they're like doing like a prequel to The Sopranos that's about like,
I didn't know they were doing that either.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I was just like, huh, that's funny. That must be happening sometime event. I didn't pay attention to when the release date was happening because I hadn't even seen The Sopranos. And then I watched it. I finished the first season in like 2 days, and then I took a break for the rest of the week because I figured I'd do one season a week so I don't completely like dilute myself on it, or maybe like, I don't know, I'll play it by ear. However long it takes until I'm feeling another season. But anyways, so I did that, and then I told my one friend I was watching The Sopranos because I had like stopped an episode to go do a thing with them, and then that friend was like, "Oh, are you doing that for are you like rewatching it for the new Sopranos show that's coming out like tomorrow?" And I was like, "No, I forgot I didn't know that was a thing. It's just the weirdest fucking timing that the day I decided to finally start watching The Sopranos is like, I guess when they announced the prequel show or when it's about to come out or something like that. It's very weird.
This is the first I've heard of it, is this conversation, so I didn't know about it either. But I'm sure people who are like, have watched the show, because most of them are pretty like psyched about, like, love that show. So I'm sure they know about it.
It's a great show.
I just
having seen a season of it, it's a very good show.
Leviathan Den says, it's incredible. Talking about the Valve Index. I bought the entire setup and turned one of my rooms into a complete full body tracking dedicated PC VR room. Whoa, full body? That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, you went all out. Your Dreamatorium.
Yeah. See, that's like your fucking holodeck right there.
Yeah. Leviathan Den says, it's well worth it if you have the grand to spend. Well, I did during COVID, but now that I'm paying for a wedding, I have nothing to spend. So that ship has sailed.
I used to have money.
I'm just gonna put VR on my wedding registry. That's a thing, right?
Yeah, ask for a VR, or ask for like someone like, hey, if you know how to do rooms, can somebody make me a VR room?
My aunt will like do rooms. Can you build an addition onto my house?
Yeah.
My aunt will buy me like a Google Cardboard or something and be like, "Is this what you meant?"
Yeah. Right.
Thanks, Aunt.
Reminds me of I saw like a Photoshop contest for, I'm pretty sure it was Cracked or whatever, but it was like shitty knockoffs or something about like shitty knockoffs of video games or video games that aren't what you wanted or something like that. And the one that got me to laugh the most was like, it's this like shitty looking like shovelware title cover, and then like the title has been edited so it says, "The guy at the store said this was a good game."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Leviathan Den says, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, the Quest 2 is actually really, really nice. Yeah, I've heard that, and I've considered it. Part of me, and that's probably what I'll end up doing, but part of me is like, if you're going to do the thing, just get, like, save up and get, I don't want to have to upgrade. I mean, granted, this is like a fairly new, growing technology, so you will always have to upgrade quickly. Yeah. But still, I just kind of was like, maybe I'll just save up for one of the big boys instead of getting one of the... But, that might be a long time if I do it that way. So I don't know.
I'm in the price range of VR. Like, if anything's free, like, I can definitely afford that. That I can work on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know of any free VR,
I think you can get some of those like red and blue like 3D glasses.
Yeah.
And just wear those. That's
what I do is I take like, when they did anamorphic 3D for movies, so like you'd wear like those glasses that make everything but the movie blurry.
Thank God it's gone.
I know, thank God. I have a couple of those saved up, so if you guys like ever need to play VR, just grab some anamorphic 3D glasses and then stare at your screen until your eyes bleed, and then you're good to go.
Cool. Do you have to wait for your eyes bleed to see the effect?
No, your eyes bleed pretty much right away. It's crazy how fast it hurts.
That's impressive.
Yeah. What was I know we talked about this before, I think, when we were watching Final Destination 3, because that was like a 3D movie. But what was like I want to say best or worst, but honestly, what was just
there aren't many that are memorable to me. Avatar, I guess, was cool. But still, even at the time, I'm like, they didn't really have a choice when it was. I mean, yes, you could see. Let me add a note to that, because sure, you could pick the 2D version, but then you're watching a movie where there's all these scenes where somebody's like, whoa, throwing things at the screen, like, whoa, and it's just like, this is stupid. This is annoying. Why these scenes wouldn't even be in the movie if it weren't for them just trying to show off this technology over and over.
Yeah.
It's dumb. There'd be like a scene where some like kid has like one of those paddle balls and he's just hitting it at the screen for a second for no reason. It doesn't add anything to the movie. It's just like, look at this technology.
I think that's literally a joke. That's like literally a joke from Harvey Birdman. Is like they go to a 3D movie and a guy has like a ball and a paddle, and he like paddles the ball towards the screen, and then Phil Ken-Sebin is just like, oh my god.
It's just dumb, and I'm glad it's dead, and I hope it never comes back, unless it's like way better.
Well, I think the next step is eventually going to be VR movies, right? Like that's the next step.
Yeah, I would say something where you're like in it is going
or like
to be
not
filmed.
even like necessarily like in it, but like if like how like about to get like a little risque here, but how they have like VR porn and stuff.
What?
Where it's just
They
like...
do? Leviathan Den, did you know about this?
Okay, I think you're acting
I am.
a little clueless for the benefit of your roommate who you are engaged to. It's fine, he doesn't know. But yeah, like VR porn where it's just like a 360 view of a room, and they do other things in VR. I just thought porn would be the easiest way to like get everyone on the same page. But it's like the video, but it's also got like 360 degrees of shit that you're not really gonna end up looking at anyways, because you're watching what's happening in front of you.
Right.
I imagine that's like the next step in movies where it's like we shot every scene in full panoramic 360 degree 4K, and if you don't want to watch the characters talk to each other, just look out the window, look at all the fake spaceships we have fly. I mean, that'll make every movie like 80 times more expensive, but it's probably like the direction that like
you're totally right, that will happen. But can you imagine how god awful it would be to work on that set and like have to like reshoot things over and over, like even like the bullshit stuff from every angle to get like this weird like ugh.
They'll give like an award to the first guy who's just like, when we started shooting panoramic 3D image or 360 degree movies, we thought stay as hidden as possible, but instead we came up with a technology that puts a green screen over half of it, so then the crew doesn't have to like hide behind bushes or I don't know, some stupid shit. Point is, it's going to be pointless and it's going to be annoying. They're going to try it though. So anyways, The Sopranos.
Real quick, Leviathan Den wrote, I just want to read what he wrote. The only downfall about the Quest 2 is even when it is plugged into your computer and you are playing it, once it dies, it completely shuts off and it has to recharge, and it takes almost 3 hours plugged into the PC to recharge enough to play. So in a nutshell, it does not charge while playing. That is lame. That doesn't make sense. Or rather, it does not charge fast enough so that it dies. It uses more power than it's able to suck.
So, how long does the power last? Because if it takes
sucks
like 3
more than it
hours to
blows.
charge it. Yeah. The only thing is, like, I have a hard time, unless it's like an occasion where I'm playing with friends or like I'm in a very good mood or whatever. I have a really hard time playing games for longer than like an hour and a half tops. Like, unless like if the game really has me, like that's great, because that's sort of what I was looking for, is that escape. But for the most part, I play a game for like 30 minutes to an hour and I start to feel guilty, like I should be fucking drawing right now or doing anything with my life because I don't have a job or I don't have no money. Even if I had a job, I would feel the same way. So depending on how long that thing like keeps a battery charge for, and on top of like having to, it might be like, I might never notice it run out of batteries, like.
Or it would help keep you on track when it rudely quits playing.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'll be like, shit, I guess I got sucked into the game, and then I'll just go do shit with my life. Well, sounds like it wouldn't be the biggest issue for me, but I could be. It depends. Like if the charges like it lasts for 40 minutes, that's fucking. Well, that would be unusable, I think, actually.
Leviathan Den says about 2 hours on Half-Life Alyx, 3 hours for lesser hardware strenuous games. So 2 to 3 hours. Gotcha. It's not too bad.
It would be frustrating if I like had a night to myself and I was just like, all right, first day of vacation. But
I'll play games for a while sometimes if I'm in the groove.
Yeah. Like if I'm feeling it. Like when we first got like Final Fantasy, I played that shit for like, Jesus, I don't even know, like 7 hours, something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm behind you now, because I was gone for the weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you actually are a higher level than me still, because I was.
Plus, I started a new. I'm trying to level up a different, a DPS character.
Yeah, I don't know, because like my gladiator is level 39.
Okay.
I think you were like a level 43 or something like that. Does that sound about right?
Somewhere around there.
Okay. My mage, they're about like level 12 now, I want to say.
Nice.
So we're doing all right.
Yeah,
start doing
pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. One of those games where, like, depending on like what you're doing in the game, you can, like, I watched The Sopranos when I was playing that game.
Oh, for sure. Like podcasts or something on the background is like a must.
Yeah. It depends though. Like if you're doing the crafting, like you can watch like ADT. You can watch like a documentary and come away with all the information. If you're like doing the main quest, if you want to pay attention to the story, you might have to pause every once in a while. But if you don't give a shit, like you could just blow through that game without ever actually paying attention to anything, which is kind of nice. I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, I've been finding like that style of game just for kind of when I want to just like turn my brain off and just relax a little bit.
Yeah. The Assassin's Creed games are really good for that because, like, not like when you start doing the missions, because those games really love their writing. So anytime you do like a mission, you do like a side quest, like you're gonna have to like walk with somebody slowly as they talk to you, and then you can go do your shit.
And if you walk just a little too fast, if you walk faster than them, and your base walk speed is slightly faster than them, and if you walk too fast, they'll stop and just wait and be like, "Hey man, don't leave me." And so then you have to like
too far away from your target.
Push the stick a few just like on and off so that your guy walks and stops, so that you're still staying behind the slow asshole. Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. But when they drop you in the city and they're just like, here's like 12 eagle location things you have to climb up, and like a bunch, like when they just like, when you don't do the missions and you just have a bunch of shit in like a open world to collect and then like unlock and things like that, that's great for podcasting. Like you can get through some mad podcasts with that game, but not when you try and do anything involving the story.
It's true. If you're
like
interested.
the writing. Yeah, if you're interested as well. It depends on how interested you are, obviously.
Yeah. Leviathan Den says, could you imagine a complete first-person, well-built Assassin's Creed game in VR? That would be insane. That would be cool. I would accidentally dive through like my glass coffee table, trying to like jump into a haystack and kill myself, something like that. But yeah, it'd be great.
I have to wonder, like, I know they made 2 Mirror's Edge games. And the first one, I think, came out like a long time before VR, but the second one possibly could have come out like around the time that VR was first like
I don't think it's I could be wrong. I don't think it's VR, but it should have been, or should be.
Yeah. Those games would be great for VR.
Yeah. Although I can see that one creating some like motion sickness. You're like flying around the city.
Yeah, true. I feel like we've talked about this just like talking to each other, but I think it's interesting that Superhot was made before VR really started happening, because Superhot is like, even in the context of the game's like story, like it makes sense for it to be a VR game, because like in the game you're playing a VR game. I guess Anyways, so like it's just funny that that's a game that was like essentially retrofitted to be VR.
But it's great in VR. It's like one of the best games I've played in VR.
I bet. It's probably amazing in VR, and it's probably, I mean, it is definitely a great mouse and keyboard too. But I can only imagine VR is like it feels like a complete experience.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe they had that in the works, and it just was like dev, like they were still working on it. I don't know. No, because it was like a browser game at first. Superhot.
I think it was a browser game at first, but I think it was like a game jam or something like that, where it's like so many games start out as game jams and then they turn into a full-fledged thing. It's kind of wild.
But the VR version, it's straight up like, it's probably the best thing I've played in VR. It just feels really good. It's like, oh, this was meant to be played this way.
Yeah.
Or it seems like it. Leviathan Den says hydrate and posture check, so straighten them spines.
Straighten them spines, do-si-do.
Boy, that's the good stuff.
What is that? What are you drinking right there?
So I have multiple beverages lined up. I have water. I have a LaCroix, which is, in case you were wondering, this is watermelon flavored. Ooh. And then I have a glass of wine.
Oh. How fancy.
So I guess now I'm dehydrating. What?
Yeah, you're kind of working against yourself with the wine there. But is the wine for any special occasion, or you just have a bottle you felt like cracking it open?
We have we have a box, so classy folks. You can reach take back your fancy line, but we have a box of wine, and yes, I decided it was time to cork that baby.
Nice. Or uncork? Or
there's no cork in box wine.
No cork. I know. I was gonna say.
You turn a knob.
You smack the bag. You ever slap the bag?
I'm aware of the term, but no, I haven't physically slapped the bag myself.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
Levi, the goal just to drink the whole. You finished the. Tell me about slapping the bag. Fill me in case I'm.
Oh, I mean, I don't think there's any rules. Like when I played it, like it was usually as part of like. When I was working at the whitewater rafting company, like we would have a thing every year called the Guide Olympics, where we'd just like dress up as different countries and like organize into teams, and then we would play a bunch of like goofy games that we had made up.
Sounds like a good way to get canceled.
It's a great way to get canceled, and we would usually get really fucking wasted during them. So people would bring boxes of wine, and then we would do a thing. It was kind of like a tradition where you'd go. And you'd have to, like, one team always did Team Vatican City, and they would dress up as the Pope and some altar boys.
That's fun.
Until the one year where they kind of took the joke a little bit too far and they had to stop. But
can't imagine possibly what they could have done. But anyways, moving on.
I know, right? Anyways, the Pope would make you drink the like from the box wine, and then they would slap like you'd have to slap the bag as you drank it, and then they would slap the bag. It was like a weird thing.
That's funny. I actually so I'm familiar with that. I thought it was something to do with finishing it, but you're right.
Oh no.
I remember that now that you say that.
What's the classiest place you've drank a box of wine? I want to call it a bag of wine because really it's just a bag.
It's a bag inside of a box.
Yeah, it's a bag inside a box.
Where's the classiest place I've drank in a box of wine?
And classy, you can take that as literal or sarcastic, so it's up to you.
Man, I don't know. Do you have an answer like on deck that for when I turn it on you? Because right now I haven't had that many boxes of wine. Boxes of wine.
When I was dating my ex, we did bring a box of wine to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet at one time.
Do you sneak it in, or you just walk in with it like no problem?
It's BYO.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, most Chinese buffets are actually BYO. So
I've never experienced that. Not that the ones I've been to aren't, but I've never known that or seen that. Maybe that's like a Pennsylvania thing.
And I doubt it. I mean, if anything, Pennsylvania's got more strict laws than other states because it's a Quaker state.
That's true.
But...
People in the chat, let us know if your buffets are biob or not, because that's news to me. Granted, I haven't been to a buffet in a while. Idea.
It was my ex's idea, but I mean, at the time though, I still kind of am all about it. But like, when she said like,
sounds great,
bring the box of wine, I was just like, can you do that? She was like, it's a BYOB, and I was like, they are.
That's very fascinating.
Yeah, it took me by surprise.
Leviathan Den says, have either of you done any research on the Steam Deck? If so, could you convince me if it is worth getting? I could not convince you yet, because I don't think is it not out yet? Is it out yet? I don't know. I feel like,
no idea.
I feel like, not always, but I've been burned in the past for buying the first version of some kind of new-ish hardware. I know like a handheld gaming system isn't newish, but like, when you buy something like the first inaugural one, sometimes they're like, oh shit, it turns out that the charger breaks really easy, and this thing sucks, and then the next one is way better. I don't know. So I'm probably gonna hold off, but I could see myself getting one at some point, just because I have a huge Steam library, and I don't know, I like the idea of being able to play handheld. It's kind of cool. So I don't know, possibly. I couldn't sell you on it yet. I've done some research. It looks pretty cool. It's basically like its own computer, so like it has like its own operating system, and you can kind of run other stuff as well. So it's kind of cool.
I do want to say something about the Stream Deck or the Steam Deck before I do. Captain Cheapy's in the chat. I feel like I haven't seen
Captain
Captain Cheapy in a
Cheapy,
while.
welcome back.
So I just want to say hi.
Oh,
Thanks so much for
Captain,
joining
my
us today.
captain.
Oh, Captain, my captain. Our Chinese buffet had banana pudding with bits of chocolate chip cookies and rainbow sprinkles in it. That sounds amazing.
See, you couldn't bring your own alcohol, but they did have that as a consolation prize, and actually that kind of sounds better anyways.
I mean, look, it wasn't. I mean, here's the thing: when we did bring the bag or the box of wine to the buffet, and we started we were there, we just mostly saw how overworked the poor people working there were, and felt really bad. We were just like, oh, I feel bad that this guy's life sucks right now.
I saw this one clip of somebody dumping crab legs into a trough at some Chinese buffet, and then 10 large white people trying to all fighting over them and filling their plates, and it was instantly empty. I don't know where it was on TikTok or something, but I'm like, that just makes me sad. Especially for the people working.
White people. That just sounds that's. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's only white people that do this, but definitely, if I were to see somebody doing that shit, I would be like, fucking white people, definitely. If anyone's gonna do that shit, it's gonna be white people. It doesn't have to be only white people, but
we'll be part of the group doing it.
Oh yeah. But whatever. Chinese buffet though, good shit. Anyways, Steam Deck. My thoughts on the Steam Deck are I can't afford.
What's your opinion on that deck?
Well, I can't afford anything right now, so I haven't looked it up.
Well, in a world where you were in the market for such things, is that something you would say oh yeah, that looks cool, or not really necessary? I kind of would just rather play it on my computer anyways.
So, like I said, I haven't done any research. So, does it have a keyboard built into it?
No.
Is it basically
it looks like a Switch with some more controls so that you can actually do kind of mouse type stuff.
So that's something that has me really concerned. Speaking of early adopters, I was an early adopter. Do I have it here? No, I don't. I probably threw it out, but I've complained, I think, on this stream multiple times, and to you definitely. I was an early you know where I'm going with this, but I was an early adopter of the Steam controller.
You liked the controller though, didn't you?
Here's the thing. I really like what the Steam controller is capable of, because the second, it has 2 analog sticks, but the one analog stick is actually a touchpad that's very, it can do subtle, noticeable changes in, where your thumb is, putting the pressure and things like that. So it actually works really nicely as a mouse, as, that touchpad. So, if you're playing a first-person shooter, that's really nice, or if you're just using your computer, you can do it technically from your controller. But the amount of games that I played that had full support for the controller was Fallout 4, and that's all I can think of. Every other game I ever played had no Steam controller support, so every game I ever... And, you can map your own buttons to each game, but it only works a certain amount, because if you have your one thing set as the one way, and you have... if you have your right analog stick set as a mouse, but then you have your left analog stick set as an analog stick, which is what you have to do sometimes.
Why don't you just shut the fuck up about this controller? I'm sick of your bullshit.
I will not.
And I think that controller was great, and what else would you need it besides Fallout, you piece of shit?
That's a good point.
Someone in the chat has pretend an argument. That's why I was coming in hot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I just thought you'd be like, oh god, I should stop talking about this. It's oh no. It backfired. It's Morgan's fault.
Morgan. Well, tell you what, I will talk about this, because I swear to God, that fucking controller is useless, because so many games... What were we gonna say?
Oh, Maddie F subscribed. Thank you, Maddie F. Says 4 months. Why are my dads fighting? It's your wife's fault.
it's your wife's fault.
She paid good money to have us fight each other.
She did.
Not channel points, but that's as good as money when the economy collapses. And Lord Bezos, he's like, channel points. That's how you pay for food.
That's how you go to space. Is the channel points. I mean, he did kind of pay us money. I mean, he just gave us money, and also
That's true.
Gave us
Matt did, yeah. But
I don't even know. But
I was just
we'll
saying
have a real argument in a
make us
moment.
fight for free.
Yeah, we'll have a real argument in just a moment. I just want to say one last thing about the Steam controller. Anyways, Steam Deck, if they fucking... I don't know if that means they'll add support for Steam Controller or if they're just gonna fucking drop Steam Controller completely and just like figure out a different way of adding controller support for the Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck has both.
Has what?
Oh, Captain Sheepy just banned a word.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we can't say that for the rest.
We just gotta call it the deck.
The deck. Oh,
so
the deck.
So the deck has both. It has analog sticks and it has like the things that you found on the deck controller.
On the deck.
Yeah, so you get like mouse kind of controls with that part, and then you also have the analog sticks, and you also have buttons. It's all there.
So like, are they going to provide? Like the thing is, like, you know, the controller, the deck controller, that thing. I mean, it had the buttons. The buttons were there, and you could use the second analog thing as an analog stick. But the amount of games that supported it were
Time out. Another word has been banned.
Oh boy.
The thing.
Okay, so the thing that we've been asked to discuss. You know what? Honestly, like I think I said my piece. They just need to fucking add support for the controls, or else it's all pointless because they didn't for the controller. So they need to do that shit for the thing that we're talking about, or else it's pointless. And I don't trust them to because they completely fucking failed on giving any support for the controller. Anyways,
you can plug a keyboard into it.
Yeah, you can.
And a mouse if you want to,
yeah,
but
that kind of
that's not it defeats the purpose. Now you're on a tiny screen.
Yeah.
You also can just buy a monitor that's this big if you want. And
it's
way cheaper. It's way cheaper than buying this thing.
Buy a monitor, buy a keyboard and a mouse, and then you have the thing that we're talking about.
The Valve Switch?
It's actually, that's right, but it's also the Valve Switch, but it's also a whole ass computer, so bada bing, bada boom.
They tried.
God.
You're too late, Leviathan Den. It's called the Valve Switch now.
Yeah, the Valve Switch.
They also, think they can stop us.
I'm done talking about it.
Oh, I have a lot more to say. No, I get what you're saying.
Trying to discuss my thoughts.
For games that aren't controller friendly and need like a keyboard, yeah, that needs to work, or else those games are all.
Yeah, and they banned the last one. Okay, we're just moving on to.
They don't. Are we gonna I think they're trying to tell us something. They don't.
Yeah, I think they're trying to tell us to move on.
This conversation. Okay.
Should we have that fake argument now?
I mean. You mean besides that real one we just had?
I mean, it sounds like you want to have a fake argument.
You know...
Quit coming at this argument like I came at our last argument.
Matty F says, tremendous flex.
Tremendous flex. Is he saying he wants us to do that, or is he saying that we're flexing tremendous? Oh, and they also banned that last word.
Wow. Someone's. I think that's the flex. Is that
that is the flex.
Leviathan Den is rolling in the CP.
That's right.
The Bezos bucks.
Don't say that. Those Bezos bucks. I think we should probably raise that price.
Probably, although that was pretty fun trying to work around it.
That's right. I mean, it's just because I think. For 5 minutes, the point, but like if we're like we decided that it's way more fun to try and ban the words that are banned. Oh.
You just got delayed reaction, but
I only heard the ding and the but I didn't hear anything else.
Sort that out. Leviathan Den says no price rate raising, so I guess we can't.
No price raising.
Damn it.
Gosh.
We were gonna.
You did punch me for it. So yeah, our fight. We haven't had a fight yet. Somebody spent their hard-earned channel points to ban all of the words that we can't say for the rest of this episode, as well as to have a fight. How are you gonna pull a Jeff Bezos on us? By going to space and being an annoying douchebag. That's how I'm gonna. You
better wear a cowboy hat to space.
Oh, I will, and I'll my personality. Were you doing the shark laugh from Strange Wilderness?
Yeah, which is coincidentally the Jeff Bezos actual laugh.
That is true. Yeah, I watched that movie last week.
Really? What did you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was bad when I saw it originally.
Yeah, it's not good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it wasn't like offensively bad. Like, so I didn't realize it until the movie was over, but I watched a Seltzer or Friedberg movie. You know those names, right? Do you know those names?
I don't think I do.
Disaster movie, epic movie,
shit,
date movie, Meet the Spartans.
No, I didn't know the writing team behind that. Never really felt it was worth delving that much further in.
2 of the 6 writers behind Scary Movie, and then
the guy
writers behind the
guy that got coffee while they were working on Scary Movie.
That's right.
Got his own film.
So I didn't realize it was a movie by those fucking guys until the movie was over. But I was like, I just wanted something to have on in the background while I was drawing, so I put on something called Super Fast. Oh, you're gonna punch. How did that feel? Did that hurt? Is that for not knowing that who Seltzer and Friedberg were? Because I think that's actually a charmed life.
Maybe they're in the chat. Maybe they're in the chat and it hurt them that I didn't know them.
That's right.
Sorry.
Oh, also,
I'm sure the stuff you did in college was a lot better. I don't know.
Sure.
How do you jump into that world?
I mean, the one guy started. Okay, so I wrote an article about shitty movies. Like, I wrote an article about things that are ripoffs of like other movies. Like, I actually did 2 articles about it. One was twin films, where 2 movies are just the same movie that come out at like the same time. What's the word? Friends with Benefits, and then No Strings Attached. Like the 2 movies where Justin Timberlake and Ashton Kutcher have casual sex with Natalie Portman and or Mila Kunis, and I don't know who is in what movie with who, but they're both the exact same plot.
And then they fall in love. Oh, I thought this would be just fun and easy, but nope. Now I have feelings. Oh boy, it was an original movie.
I didn't just catch all these STDs. I also caught feelings.
Yeah.
So anyways, I wrote some article about it. The one guy who was in who did those horrible parody movies, he got his start because he wrote a shitty parody script, and then like somebody who knew somebody was just like, hey, can you fucking get this turned into a movie? And then they did, and then that guy's career was set for the rest of his life. He was making shitty parodies until as late as last year, I guess, or
they're still
when the movie
people are still watching that. Wow, I didn't know that even was a market. I mean, anymore.
I watched the one called Super Fast, which was a parody of all the Fast. I thought it was just gonna be a parody of the first Fast and the Furious movie, but they started to roll all the other ones into it as it went along. Anyways, don't watch it. It's bad. It's fucking terrible. I stopped that movie I stopped watching it 3 separate times, where I was just like.
Well, you kept starting it back up though, which means it must be really good.
Nah, it was just there in my like resume watching, and I could either click the X that gets rid of it, or I could just fucking have it on in the background while I worked on art, which is what I eventually ended up doing. But I still had to stop it like 3 times because I was just like, I would get to a point where it wasn't even cringe. I would just like, it was especially before I realized they were doing all the Fast and the Furious movies, but like for the first 30 minutes of the movie, it's just a parody of Fast and the Furious. So it's basically them just doing the whole movie over, but like a bunch of dumb, shitty jokes thrown into the mix. So like after a while I would just be like, okay, so this is just like Fast and the Furious, but like way worse because no one's making a joke right now. They're just talking about the plot, and there is no plot. It's just Fast and the Furious. It's a parody. So like on several occasions, yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. But I eventually finished it, and I gained nothing for it. And that's how I felt watching Strange Wilderness, is I gained nothing for watching that too, although not nearly as cringe bad as Superfast. God, why do people watch us? Why do I say shit?
I mean, people come here to learn whether or not they should watch
Superfast.
Yeah, and all their various parody movies, because it's a big world of parody movies out there, and how do you know which ones to watch? Watch our show Mondays at 8 p.m. to find out, should you watch Meet the Spartans? The answer is always no to all these.
Yeah, absolutely not. New hot take from Ian, The Sopranos. Good show. Maybe you should consider checking it out. That's all. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night and good luck. So yeah, super fast piece of shit. Strange Wilderness. I mean, I thought it was funny that they killed Bigfoot. That's about it. I don't know.
Spoilers, dude.
What was that? Spoilers? I know.
No, I know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Fucking, if you didn't want the movie spoiled, you should have seen the movie 18 years ago when it came out, Bray.
No, I did, and I wish I had.
You regretted it. I was trying to.
Leviathan Den says, "Love how B-Chap just picks up his teeth after getting punched and slurs the sentence. Next week on more bomb draw." Yeah, I try to get into it. Not like Ian that he doesn't even react. That's actually not his fault. I need to figure out. He doesn't hear the sound.
I do sometimes. It depends on how much sound is already happening. I have a couple of thoughts on how we could fix that, but
next time when somebody redeems it, I'll quick call you on the phone, and then you pick up, and I'd be like, "Hey man, they're about to punch you on the thing." Okay, so be ready to be punched on the show. Okay.
Yeah, I should relax, right? Or I shouldn't relax. I should get ready to react.
Get ready to be. Yeah. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Love you too.
And then you'll be like, yeah, exactly. It'll work. It'll work great. Are you good with this drawing?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm already emotionally.
Fair enough. It's our best work yet.
Oh my gosh, of the night.
That's true. Wow. See, the audience loves it.
Thank you so much, audience. Leviathan Dunn says, it's Top Cat Yo's McDonald's Wi-Fi. Lol, just messing with you, cuz I don't even know what that means.
You can steal I actually should try that. I have a McDonald's across the street. If I open this window right here, you can see it. I could steal their great Wi-Fi.
I don't think I've ever been to a McDonald's where like they had the Wi-Fi or were just willing to give it out though, right? Like
no, they all have it for free.
Oh, do they?
Matty F says McDonald's isn't real. So I think it's like a... What happens when you walk in? Are you just like instantly like put into like a dream state where they can make you visualize eating burgers while they like probe you and stuff?
Maybe I almost said Walmart. I actually almost said Waldonald's, but anyways, McDonald's is actually just
that's what it would be called in the year 3000. Waldonald's Disney.
Yeah, isn't that like when like they have like when they have like two fast food restaurants that are just like mashed together, so it's like Domino's and Long John Silver's. This DrawBomb brought to you by Domino's and Long John Silver's. Correct. And Arby's is in a conspiracy. It's just mind tricks. Hey, welcome to
Van Plum said it's always just a Burger King. So they just like paste a different picture on the wall of every burger. They're all Burger Kings.
You just walk in and you immediately start hallucinating along with everybody. Like it's like there's a poison cloud inside every McDonald's.
You know how there's that when you walk in, there's the door, and then there's like an area where it's almost like an airlock. There's the door on each side. McDonald's, you don't just open the door into the McDonald's. You have to go through like a little small room. Like that's where the poison cloud resolves, and it makes you think you're walking into a fast food place. I like this conspiracy.
Me too. I like how I like the idea of you going to you go to a McDonald's and as you walk in the door, it's just like, please wait for 3 seconds. Do not move as the decontamination chamber.
Take a deep breath and prepare to enjoy hamburgers. And you just slump on the ground.
Whoa. Yeah, it's like a tiny room. It's not even.
There's somebody like right behind you in the parking lot about to walk in. They just see you like drop, and they're like, "Huh, that's fishy." Anyways, I need my 10-piece.
Average day at McDonald's. To be honest, I've been the one McDonald's in Philadelphia is like fucking Mad Max times. Like the shit that goes on, and like we were just like me and my roommate went in there and like got some food, and we were just watching the chaos around us. And like at some point, some dude who was just like not even cognizant, like walked up to our table and like did like that thing where they put their hand in their head in their hand, their arm on the table, and they're just like
let's gab.
yeah, and like I don't even remember what they said. I'm pretty sure it was nonsense, but we were just, I think they asked us for money or some shit like that, or they're just like, hey man, you ever seen some? And we were just like, no.
No, I've never done that.
Yeah,
what are you drawing here?
Sure. No.
You drawing a Wall Donald's?
I was gonna draw myself. As I was saying things, I kind of got carried away, but I was gonna draw a tiny picture of myself, just tripping the fuck out in a Wall Donald's.
Okay. I'll join in on whatever, but it's the full canvas, so I'm on board. That's why I have to ask what we're doing.
No, here, let me fix. It happened during a friend's stream last night, but they were like having a conversation while they were drawing. And then the one guy was like, "Oh fuck, why am I drawing so much detail?" Need that hydrate again. My throat is parched. But yeah, they were just drawing an insane amount of detail on something because they were too lost in thought.
So I don't have cable anymore, but I do have a question for anybody in the audience who still sees regular commercials. Has McDonald's like accepted that Ronald McDonald is creepy and he's just not around anymore, or they just? I know they occasionally probably speckle him in, but like in the '90s, he was in every commercial. Like he's kind of gone now, right? Now it's just very diverse families eating McDonald's. I think is every commercial.
Yeah, I only ever see Ronald McDonald in connection to like the charity thing that McDonald's has that I don't understand what they do. But yeah, I'm pretty sure once they started the whole like ba 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 ba, I'm living it. That's them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, once they started doing that, and they were like, we gotta start appealing to people who live in the city. That's when they gave up on the clown shit.
Smart move.
I think so. I mean,
yeah, I don't think disturbing. Even as a kid, I'm like, this is gross to look at.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed a single McDonald's commercial, but I will say the ba 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 ba, I'm loving it. Like, hey, when you get up in the morning and you have $1 and only $1 in your pocket, when you head out of your apartment, why don't you stop by McDonald's, get a single burger and fry for $1? Ba 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 ba, I'm living it. Those commercials aren't great, and I hate them still, but they're a lot less offensive than, like, visually to look at.
Yeah.
And mentally to receive than
they're still not great. There's some conversation in the chat I want to look at real quick. Let's see. Hold on, I'm just figuring out where to start here. Leviathan Den says Willem Dafoe Donalds. DeFonalds.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Maddie in response says, I see you're a man of tremendous class. Yes, Leviathan Den is. They say Ronald McDonald is canceled. I mean, I didn't read the news, but I believe it. And,
I think he's canceled in the most, like, the original form of that word, where they're just like, they stopped hiring a guy to fucking dress up as him. They're just like, you're done. We're good.
It's gotta be a bad day to be Ronald McDonald and get that phone call from your agent. Look, man.
Oh, I know, right?
They don't need you anymore. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what? McDonald's is never going under. And they're like, yeah, but clowns are out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what? Fuck! I just bought a boat!
Yeah, man, I was just telling my prostitute how I was locked in for life, how the McDonald's is never gonna not need me as a clown. I thought I was fucking set, my dude.
What's that guy look like?
The McDonald's guy when he's angry?
When he's a normal person. Ronald McDonald's a man underneath all the makeup and hair. There's a guy,
it's so weird to think
and he has to exist out there somewhere right now. Just like a 7-foot, like, man who's, like, trying to get work right now in acting or somewhere.
He's just, like, shaking a can at people being like, I was in Mac and me.
They're like, oh, so you've been working for years. Great. Let me look at your resume. Oh, you've just been a burger clown for 2 decades. Okay.
I thought I really had an in when you seemed excited about Mac and me. I thought maybe you hadn't seen it.
Matty F says, canceling Ronald McDonald is Italiaphobia, and I'm tired of acting like it isn't. Is he an Italian clown?
Well, if anything, he's Irish, isn't he? Because he's got a McDonald.
He's got Donald in his name.
He's got red hair, so he's Irish.
I didn't know he was an Italian clown.
I don't think he is.
The concept
Unless
is really funny to me, though.
Unless his, no, I was just paraphrasing a Hassan tweet. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's why he's so pasty white, is because he's Irish. Yeah, if he was Italian, he'd be Ronaldo Macadamano. It'd be something completely different. That's funny though. I like that. Do you imagine?
I'm sure a Google search would answer this, but we don't have to go to that just yet.
Does anyone? Yeah, I've been like drawing these legs on tripping out Ian for like way too fucking long. If anyone wants to do the dirty work for us and research what Ronald McDonald did, post.
Was it the same guy all those years? It doesn't have to be. He's not that identifiable, and you're selling it to children. The only other people are parents who don't give a shit. Like, they're gonna be like, hey, that Ronald's different.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because
it's like Santa Claus at the mall.
Yeah, well, it's like Ronald McDonald, like, they probably could have hired a different guy, although I feel like contracts and, like, money means they probably would have had to hire the same guy for at least some amount of time, but I'm sure they've switched out at some point. But, like, you could definitely hire a different Ronald McDonald, and no one would ever know because he's covered in a fake nose and a wig and face paint. But, like, like that band, the Wiggles, that kids band or whatever, like, the one dude, like, those are dudes, their whole outfit is like they're wearing a shirt, and then it's just them. Like, they have colored shirts or whatever.
I have a colored shirt.
And they sing. Yeah, and I think like
one of
the guys.
Shit.
Yeah, and the one guy was just like, "Yeah, I'm getting old, so I'm retiring." And they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "We're gonna hire a replacement guy. They're fucking kids. They don't know I'm like they've swapped me out." Like, even like the guy, one of the frontmen of like, I want to frontman, but like
he's the first to say he's replaceable.
He's just like, they're kids. They don't understand what's happening.
He's humble.
They don't give a shit. I respect that. I respected that guy like 20 more times after he said that. And I was just like, that guy's fucking funny. Ronald McDonald is made of pink paste that's used to make chicken nuggets.
I just picture like he's like the goop, just like blah, 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 like the Terminator, like the liquid Terminator in Terminator 2.
Terminator. I was just thinking of the Terminator. Like,
it's great.
What if it was through the Terminator, but it was Ronald Actually, you know what? I'm done trying to draw myself tripping out.
I was about to draw you getting blasted with the gas. Okay. But
let's finish
maybe
that.
I'm not sure. It might be smarter to just steer out of this and save ourselves the effort.
I'm leaving it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
gone.
Just redraw the Terminator cover, but it's Ronald McDonald now. That's how
coming out of pink paste.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Matty S says that drawing is canceled.
That drawing was canceled. Literally, again, not even like the new definition of canceled. We just stopped it mid-production.
Well,
Which is what canceled means.
While you get started on that, I'm gonna quick look at the actor Ronald McDonald because I want to upset myself.
Okay, and I found the pen I dropped, so I'm ready to start.
Great. Oops, I accidentally wrote Ronaldo, so maybe I'm playing even further into the.
Oh my god.
No!
Ronaldo McDonald,
No!
Ronaldinho.
No! No!
No one says no.
Okay, so Ronald McDonald is kind of like James Bond in that they swap him out every so many years.
Interesting.
There's been.
I hear a voice.
You hear a voice?
Oh, that might actually. You know what? That's the.
Oh yeah.
That's I have
he redeemed. Oh God, no.
No. That was you talking from through the Twitch because I have the Twitch open to pump those numbers up.
Okay. Got it.
But you can't mute Twitch because if you mute your Twitch stream, it doesn't count as a viewer, which I learned through somebody else's stream some time ago.
Maddie F says, you age out of playing Ronald McDonald like Menudo. Exactly. They need a man that's exactly like, I don't know what age. All right, so the one I probably would have known would have been, yeah, okay, so Jack Dopke was the guy who did it from 91 to 99, which I'm assuming is my Ronald McDonald. Not my Ronald McDonald. So let me look at that up. Let me see what Jack Dopke looks like. Oh, God.
Here,
it's funny. He doesn't have many photos of himself not in makeup, which I don't blame him for that.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Here's
a picture of our Ronald McDonald right there.
Yeah, that's him. That's Jack.
That's Jack.
Jack Dopke.
So what I'm gonna do is, oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna make a new layer because
He looks like he's probably a nice guy. He looks like a normal human. He looks
very nice.
You know, honestly, when the contrast is what he looks like in the commercials. No, God!
Please, no!
I can't horizontally flip this.
I'm gonna show you what he looks like.
I was gonna try and use CSI technology
to figure out. Okay, let's do that first, and then I'll reveal how right or wrong you are at the end.
Okay. So I guess
it's
I'm
upside down.
My whole screen is flipped. I just looked at your Twitch stream, and I guess I hit the secret horizontal flip button.
There is a flip button. I often hit the vertical flip button by accident during the show.
I think I did hit that. I did. You're right. Okay, so let's try that again. Here's Ronaldo McDonaldinho. We're gonna lower the opacity on this.
You scoot that over so that I have some room too. I want to draw two. I'm gonna do one too for a different character.
Alright. How's that? Is that good? Need more room? If I did
scoot that move him over to the edge. I'm gonna do one too.
Alright. And we're gonna use advanced CSI technology. I'm gonna make this a little more cool.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be worth the time and effort. I already know
This
it.
is so worth it.
I
do want to get back to drawing Ronald McDonald as the original Terminator cover though.
Yeah, that'll be next. Because we're on a thing. We're doing a thing now. I'm gonna do one as well. I'm gonna try to figure out what this person looks like outside of their costume.
But you know what this guy looks like out of his costume, right? Like you found it? You found it?
Yeah, I looked it up. But I'm gonna do one too. You'll see it in a second once I put it on the screen.
Okay. I can remember I'm not drawing a clown. I'm trying to draw. Oh no!
So I just gotta find out what this guy looks like. I'm gonna use CSI technology.
Okay.
Figure out what's under that costume.
The thing about clowns. So like when you're a kid, you're stupid, right? Like you don't know shit. So like
True.
For you, a clown is the clown is the person. Like you're just like clowns are a race of people that exist and walk about the earth.
I don't know if that's the way I saw it.
But like, did you not? Like
he goes home and takes off his outfit and puts on like a old T-shirt from like his like alma mater. He just sits down on the couch.
Puts on like a hockey jersey.
Like his clown wife walks in the room and he's like, starts, I don't know, but
you're gonna go down the domestic violence route, weren't you? Just
no, I wasn't. No, I was not. I was
canceled. You're canceled as shit right now. But like, so like I think like when I think about like mascots as a kid, like and the way I've interpreted them as a kid, like if I were like at a football game, which I never went to football games as a kid, but whatever. If I were at a football game and I saw like a giant fucking like dolphin suit guy dancing around as a giant dolphin,
thought that was a dolphin.
Me nowadays would want to be like, I wouldn't fall for that shit. I wasn't that dumb of a kid. Like, who thinks that the mascots are actually like the people in their suits? But then I thought about it, and like when I was in Disney as like a 6-year-old kid, and like they did the 3D movie of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, there's like a section where like the guy like pops out of the screen and like comes up in your face and he's like, "Oh, what's your name?" And like 6-year-old me fucking answer his question because I didn't realize like, oh, there's not actually
What
a
an
person.
idiot! Everybody in the audience laugh at how much of an idiot Ian is. What?
Look at
Oh
this
my god!
child.
How do you?
Ah.
You must, Jesus! Like what a fucking fool you are.
I know, right?
We're all gonna have a hard time respecting you now. That's for sure.
God damn it! I knew it. We never even had that fake argument. But see, I have to assume like I probably at some point thought the dolphin would have been like a real dude, like a real
probably
dolphin.
True to some degree. I went to like Chuck E. Cheese, and I don't think I would have as like. I love how much the emojis like affect the stream.
Yeah, right?
There's a bunch of Matty F faces flying around, and I love it. I don't think I would have been as willing to go up and like hug Chuck E. Cheese for a photo if I knew it was just like some like dude getting paid like minimum wage inside. So you're probably right on some degree.
So I have to assume.
Not that I'm not willing to hug people who only get paid minimum wage.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Cancel.
No, you never hug people who make minimum wage. Like you don't hug minimum wage earners. Like that doesn't
Gross.
happen. But anyways, so yeah, I have to assume that I thought Ronald McDonald was probably a real fucking clown at some point, and I was like, as a child, and I was probably like, oh my god, like, there's a fucking clown. Well,
he is a real clown. He is a real clown.
What if I take away this Ronald McDonald transparency and it turns out the face I've drawn underneath is just like a really hot person? Like, what if they're actually like stunningly attractive?
And I would be like, yo, can you send me a copy of that drawing?
Yo,
that
can you
is
send
beautiful.
me send me some balloon animal pics?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I think we're really, I don't know how yours is going, but on the Grimace front, we're really figuring out what this guy looked like, I think.
I'm terrified. I haven't looked yet, but I think I've got like the face shape of this guy figured out. You know, he looks a lot thinner as a clown. I gotta say, like his cheeks, when you take away the white
makeup is thinning. Makeup is very thinning.
The slimming touch to it. He's also definitely over 35 years old because this dude's got crow's feet, like no young person does. You'd have to be like approaching 40 to be like, yeah, I'll be the fucking Ronald McDonald clown. I don't give a shit.
Nah, I'd do it tomorrow if they offered me a bunch of money.
And what haircut should I give this guy?
You don't think that's his natural hair just dyed red?
No. I think I can see a little bit of his actual hair, like behind the
Sticking
ear,
out.
right there. I'll just go off of like his. Tell you what, I'm gonna give him the haircut of the one character from Big Bang Theory. Is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that one. I love that guy.
If I said his character's name, you would be like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm doing you a solid right here.
Okay, so the emojis are going wild in chat.
Boy. I think they want us to have
Vamplev votes for a mullet. I mean, we did at one point, and then you thought I was being serious.
I halfway knew that you weren't being 100% serious, but I felt like you were just letting me off, like knowing, like you were just like gently telling, like it definitely sounded almost like a fake argument, but also I felt like you were gently letting me know, like, it's okay, like let sleeping dogs lie, like just no one gives them as much of a fuck about the even Valve.
Digging deeper, you're not gonna like what you find. I'm paid by
even Valve doesn't give as much of a shit about their Steam controller as you do, Ian. Like you have to stop.
No, I think that's a fair argument though, and it actually could be a real issue. I didn't really think about the whole like part about keyboards, but anyways, we have to get back to that.
Yeah.
This Grimace is really
I think we do have to get back to that, huh? Like this is a fight right here. I think we do need to get back to
Hey, fuck you!
Hey, fuck you!
Nice face. Where'd you get it from? Finding an old dumpster?
Oh, what? How did you know?
Oh, shit.
Wait,
now
shit,
I feel like a
we're
fool.
supposed to be fighting. No, dumpsters are okay. Before we fight, the dumpster a great place to get my fashion sense. But also, how dare you?
I feel like you meant it in a derogatory sense, regardless of my affinity for dumpster diving.
Yeah, I could tell that you were being quite mean. Have you ever
Man, this grimace
had
is coming
somebody...
along great.
I've seen it, and it's terrifying.
I'm very
so
pleased.
sorry to everybody.
What?
It was,
No.
have you ever had somebody being like kind of a dick to you, but like you were kind of aware of it, but they weren't actually saying anything mean enough to you, so you just kind of like accept, like they were like giving you a fake compliment, and so
I
you're
feel like
just
often,
like,
right? Like, I'm not that people are mean to me all the time, but I feel like I don't. I'd rather just be like, all right, whatever, and walk away than fuck with people who suck or who are being dicks anyway. So
Yeah.
I feel like often if I ever pick up on it, I'm just like, okay, bye. Like,
yeah, I think that's
we're done
it's
here.
a great attitude to have towards that. I remembered because I was thinking about how we had the fake argument and we didn't actually have a fake argument, but I was at like a wedding. I was catering a wedding the one time, and like I brought a shirt that I had helped make. That it was just like a fucking tank top because I had to wear it under. I had to wear something under my catering uniform. And it said like, it was like a Philadelphia Google Maps, but I had put it on a piece of pizza and made it say Pizzadelphia.
Good stuff.
It was a commission. And so then like I was at this wedding, and then I ended up selling one of like the bridesmaids weed, and then I ended up like she just wanted to hang out after that, and I was like, well, I got nothing else going on tonight, so I'll hang out. I'm 20. So I hung out, and like one of the people, like she was one of the bridesmaids, so she was like, we were just hanging out at this wedding, like getting drunk and stuff like that. And then one of the guys who was also a guest at the wedding just says like, Pizzadelphia, nice shirt. And I'm just like, thanks, I actually made it myself. And the guy just like kind of walked away.
That's
and then the girl
how you
was
do
like,
it.
yeah. And then the guy walked away, and the girl was like, you know, he was being shitty, right? He was making fun of you. And I was like, you know, I thought so, but I actually do like this shirt. So,
Sounds like fair. Yeah, in my line of when I work as a server, occasionally you'll get people like that, or just they're like, I don't necessarily think it's something personal. Sometimes it is, but
yeah.
If some people are just being a dick, I'm in the line. I'm in a position where I can't say anything back anyways, and it would make my life harder if I did. So when they're like,
that's your job. Good job.
so if they say something shitty right to my face, I just pretend like I'm like a dummy who doesn't pick up on these social cues, and I just like you, like kind of like what you were just saying. Like I'll just be like, keep being the nicest guy in the world, be like, oh wow, thanks, and like walk away.
Yeah.
And then they're just, it's like, fuck off. Like I'm not. What are you trying to? You're gonna bait a guy who's stuck at his job into fighting you at a restaurant? Like you're dumb.
It's like the people. It's like, why are those people being so shitty? Like I literally, like I never even said anything to that guy. Like, but like, why is he like shitting on this shirt that I'm wearing when like
he was mad that you were talking to the bridesmaid he wanted to talk to.
I mean, we did more than talk, but
oh
yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
She sucked my dick. It just this is the guy, by the way, with the Howard Wolowitz haircut, aka Dimitri Martin haircut. This is what he looks like. This is Ronald McDahnald, everybody.
You actually, you're kind of on the money.
I traced him. How am I gonna be off?
Well, I know, but like even his hair is pretty accurate.
Are you serious? Hold on, you gotta post the picture now.
Okay, I will.
I just gave him to Dimitri Martin because it's a bad haircut.
Let me find the guy. You've kind of got his hair exactly right from what I remember.
That's so fucking funny.
Not exactly right, but you know.
Okay.
Here's the guy.
Matty F in the chat says,
well played.
King shit, Ian, absolute Sigma behavior. That's funny as hell. I've seen that thing about like Sigma male, and I don't know, like I know alpha male and beta male, but Sigma male I assume is making fun of the alpha male concept, but I don't know enough.
Is it lower in the alphabet?
Wow, that's Ronald McDonald right there?
There he is.
Let me go back to the picture. Oh yeah, I see it. That's so weird. kind of just looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was gonna make fun of him at first. I went, oh god, and then I'm like, actually, no, that's not fair. He looks. He's probably
like a nice guy.
He looks very happy. Good for him.
I can't fake that fucking smile, and like if someone's taking my photo,
No, that
I
guy's
can't make a smile.
That guy's not even faking it. He's got $1 million smile. That's why he's the man behind the fries.
Yeah.
Leviathan
That
Den
says
says
he
like
is being ironic.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
He said a passively aggressive shitty insult. I can't stand that shit. Yeah, it's really annoying. And the funny thing is, not always, but a lot of times if you just like, if they play it like they're trying to be subtle, but they're really not subtle, if you play it like you don't get it, it almost upsets them a lot of times, which is fun for me.
Yeah. The best thing to do is to just keep on pretending like you don't hear it until they feel like they need to make the subtext like just the regular text. They're like shitty. That shirt's great, and you're like, oh thanks, I made this shirt, and they're like, yeah, it's a really good shirt. Thank you so much. I'm glad you. If you want, I can get you one. And then they're just like, no, it's a shitty shirt, and then like they're the asshole because you just made them come out and say it, and they're just being shitty for no reason. I really hate your drawing.
What? Why? It's so good. This is just the man's face. I don't understand why you're.
So I went from taking the makeup off of a clown, and then here you are drawing the clown from Spawn.
That is actually what it looks like.
So, what are you doing?
At the chat real quick. Leviathan Den says, Back for Blood comes out in a few days. Anyone playing it? I think I will when it comes out.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm drawing. Here's what you're drawing, by the way.
I know the clown from Spawn, and you're right. It actually does look like.
This is for the viewers more than for you. I figured you would know, but now you just got to put the makeup on him, and you're good to go. Danny DeVito's greatest character. Was it Danny DeVito? Actually,
it wasn't, but he should have played that role.
He should have played that role. Anyways, yeah, Matt was being ironic, by the way. I guess Sigma is saying like is fun of like the alpha male mindset, which I love. I love all these new jokes that make fun of like toxic masculinity and things like that, like those like man TikToks.
Wow.
Leviathan
Den just gifted a sub, and Vamplub got it. Morgan says, thanks for the sub. Thank you, Leviathan Den. You're the real deal.
Thank you so much for doing that. You got the #1 amount of gift subs in the chat, with a grand total of 1. That sounds about right.
That's nothing to sneeze at, though. We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. God, your drawing is just freaking me out.
What? Why?
Fine, if you're gonna do that. We don't need to save my clown drawing, right? Like, we're good? We don't have to...
That's up to you.
I mean, it's a trace. It's not like it's a big... anything to make a big to-do over.
I like how you're the only one commenting. Everybody else is just like, we're not even talking about this. We're gonna pretend like it's not there until it goes away.
Yeah, no one's mentioned it.
Oh god. It was just asking to be happy. Yours might look more demented, like that.
It's already
that's
scary.
Oh no.
It looks kind of like the Heat Miser from those old Rankin Bass cartoons, you know?
Maddie F says, your grimace looks like the personification of the DrawBomb, and I'm kind of offended by that he said that.
Oh no. Now we have to draw like the real life human, like now we have to draw like the anthropomorphized version of the DrawBomb. I'm never gonna get around to drawing Ronald McDahnald as the Terminator cover.
Oh no.
There's like too many things I actually want to draw for once.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, normally I'm just sitting at the screen being like, what the fuck? What am I gonna draw while I talk about King of the Hill for 2 hours? Shit. Oh yeah, I also started watching Mike Tyson Mysteries.
How is that? I've heard mixed things.
I mean, I watched it like way back when it first came out on TV. Like, it was like one of the shows that my roommates and I would watch when it came out. But I only ever saw like the first. We only had cable for like when the first season was coming out. So this is my chance to like catch up. But I mean, I like it. It's a good show. I think it's funny. Although I forgot, like when I was watching it, I forgot that Norm Macdonald voices a character in it. So I was watching it and I'm like, oh right, and this is like one of the last shows he was on. Which is also weird because I didn't, like, the show came out, I think, 2014, something like that, but I didn't realize that they had come out with the season last year, which is also apparently their last season. But I didn't realize, like that it's been, like, I guess 6-7 years since the show started, when that last season came out.
I didn't realize it was still going.
Seasons. I didn't either. I thought it had been ended, like, a long time ago, but I guess the 4th season aired last year, which was its last season, so now it's done. But it's just wild. I like the show. It's a good show.
Leviathan Dunn says, so my 1-year DrawBomb sub-anniversary is coming up in November. Can we do something special? We should do something special. You've earned it.
Yeah. We'll give you an episode of DrawBomb.
For free. Your own episode. We'll just do one without an audience besides you, which is what you get most weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Well, just a normal episode then.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with something for you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll give you like a request, or I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll come up with something. All right.
Oh yeah, I was drawing this to take the shit off of his face.
Yeah, well, maybe does he have a mask? He was born with a mask on.
What if that's like, excuse me, sir, can you take your weird 1800s bandit mask off of your face? I'm sorry, but this is actually a birthmark.
Look at that stare he's giving. You don't ask that man to do anything because you will be promptly murdered.
No,
his eyes are looking past you if you look at him.
Oh yeah,
it's glazed over.
When I worked at the bank, I would have to give like people bad news, and this is not a guy. I would try and avoid giving this guy bad news. This is.
What the fuck did you say to me?
Actually, I was gonna put like the shine in his eyes to show that he has a soul, but it's actually better if you don't this time around.
Is that one tooth?
That is one big ass front tooth.
Ugh.
With like gum visible.
You can see the gum. Why did they do that? It's very upsetting now.
Anything. Okay, I guess you don't see the gum. I guess that's his lip.
Okay. I thought it was gums too. It's upsetting.
It looks like gum when I put the line art over it because the line art is going over the lips a little bit.
Got it.
But have you ever drawn like a drawing, like you drew the eyes and then you realized like, oh, the eyes look weird until I add like a little bit of a shing?
Yes.
Weird how much that adds.
Sure do. Leviathan Dunn says, what's the big appeal of Psychonauts? I never played the first one. I think people like the writing and the art style a lot.
Yeah.
And also
it's a
just
fun game series.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty fun, but I think those are big parts of it too. And then also, I think it just was at its time also a very kind of like creative concept. So.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it sort of built off of an already respected like brand, like the creator. I don't even remember his name right now. Tim something.
Oh yeah, Tim. I can't think of his name either. But
anyways, Double Fine. Let's call him that.
Yeah.
Double Fine. I wonder how many banned words we've said over the course of this stream that we forgot about. But anyways, Double Fine had like they were already respected like brand for making like point and click games, like I think Grim Fandango and I want to say Day of the Tentacle, but I think that was LucasArts. But
I think it was I think they had a lot. I could be wrong, but I think they partially made it, but they were technically working under LucasArts at the time.
Okay. And then that one on the bike that I don't remember. It's like
Full Throttle.
Full Throttle. That's right. So they've been already pretty well known and popular for making a bunch of games. I don't know if this was their first non-point and click game. I don't think so. But I mean, they make great games. Like I have Costume Quest. I love Costume Quest.
Their stuff is always very like stylistically like they have that part is always like very like focused. They know what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I have like a bunch of their games. I've actually never played it. I actually have Psychonauts installed right now.
I've Psychonauts
my intention
2
was
installed.
Nice. My intention was to do some streaming of Psychonauts, leading like especially for a friend of mine who wanted to play Psychonauts but didn't want to play through it. He just wanted to know what the plot was. I'm done tracing the hamburger. I'm gonna stop with this. We have the real life hamburger. This is what he looks like.
Wow.
That's what he looks like. He's just ugly. An ugly dude.
Looks great.
But yeah, I just never got around to streaming it. I still have it installed. I might stream it one night, but a lot of nights I feel like busy or occupied with something else.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it.
That's the big one for me.
Don't feel like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't live in a house with other people who I feel, I don't want to say obligated because it sounds like something I don't want to do, but I want to hang out with people who live in this house with me on occasion because, you know, I would feel bad if I just
I have that same thing.
away. Yeah, you do have somebody you want to see.
I like to hang out with my roommate.
Yeah. So if if I were living like back when I was living in the apartment before this, where I didn't really have any reason to really step out unless like I had to go somewhere, like I'd probably be streaming way more often. But because I like want to see people and who live here, like and when I stream, it feels like so pointless to stream for just an hour. You know, like to stream for under 2 hours. It feels kind of like.
I mean, at least for us, because we don't bring people in immediately.
Yeah,
well, our show lately has been, which is great, and we appreciate you guys. But when we stream individually, at least, you know, people finally show up at about the 2 hour mark, and then you're like, I'm getting off now.
Or like when I was doing my morning streams, like 6 hours into the thing, people would start like doing shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like on the 5th hour and I'd be like, oh, I think I'm gonna get off in like 5 minutes, and then I'd get like raided and I'd be like, oh, now I want to stay on for another hour because there's more people here.
That's how they get you.
Right. Invisibilize this hamburger in case you want to save it. Again, whether you want to or not is up to you. You are working very hard on your grimace though.
I've put a lot of effort into it at this point. I gotta finish this sucker.
That's fair.
And I think it's what the audience wants, you know? I think they
the
are liking what they
arguing.
see. Another one?
No, we just never had one.
I've called you a piece of shit a number of times, but it was all in jest.
Well, I thought you were being serious.
Oh.
What show? If you had to pick a new one, what show have you like? I know you already said you've been out doing the wedding and stuff like that, but if you had a show you were watching currently, or you're like maybe in between shows, what would you watch? Just general. What's the game plan in terms of what show you're gonna watch next?
Like something I haven't watched yet?
I don't know, like just like if you were like, I was thinking about like now that I'm home from the weddings, sitting down and watching through Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.
I'm in between a few things. I've been watching Frasier a little bit, so there's that still. Nice. I haven't finished that. I've been watching the new season of What We Do in the Shadows. So I'm not caught up on that. Oh
yeah, I'm a couple episodes behind that.
There's the show Wellington PD, which is in the same world as the same universe as What We Do in the Shadows. It's about these two cops that just investigate like that kind of stuff. That show's fun, especially if you like What We Do in the Shadows. It's like the same tone for sure. It's made by the same people, so it should be.
Yeah.
And I've been watching that. What else? I don't know. That's kind of what I've been watching lately. Those things. I kind of feel like I want to start digging into some scary movies, like, you know, the classics.
Yeah.
I'm debating on like going through and watching like a bunch of like old. Maybe we'll do this in the group too. I don't know if people would want to, but like the old like slasher films, like Friday the 13th and stuff like that.
It could be fun.
Those are fun, and yeah.
Those are fun.
Maddie F says Grimace is really cute, honestly. So there you go. You were wrong, Ian.
Here, let me just real quick, like his Grimace or the original Grimace, because I'm gonna real quick mute your layers or invisibilize your layers real quick.
How adorable.
Yeah, I can see it.
Look how sweet he looks. Aw.
He's definitely the least of the three we have seen today of Ronald McDonald, Hamburglar, and the Grimace. The Grimace is definitely the least visually painful to look at.
Everyone's a critic.
I know.
Yeah, so Maddie F thinks my drawing's cute, so you can go to hell, Ian. And this is a real fight.
This is a real. Oh, hey, ooh. You think that drawing's cute? You think that drawing's cute? No wonder you think that you can get out of bed in the. You can leave the house.
Wait, are you attacking like Maddie F now?
No, I'm talking to you. If
you said, I never said this drawing was cute.
Yeah, but you're agreeing with him. You're like, thanks, dude.
I'm accepting the compliment. I'm just being a gracious.
God damn it!
Jeez.
We're not. We didn't get paid to have a fight with Maddie F. We got paid to have a fight with each other.
It's true. I would never attack our viewers like you are. Like, so
Oh. So I attacked the viewers. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet. I heard about the one time you followed them home and then you beat the shit out of them for lunch money.
Followed them home from the stream, you know, after they left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, all right, great show. I'm going home.
They left the chat room, and you put on a trench coat. And
I got on a plane.
Yeah. And then you like peeked around corners while they would like walk down a empty street, and then they would occasionally like turn around and be like, what? And then you would, and then when they were done looking, you'd peek around the corner again, and then you beat them up and ask for their lunch money. You prick.
At least I asked. They said no, and I said, all right, fine.
All right, I'm gonna beat you up still, but I appreciate.
May I please have your lunch money?
Yeah. Yeah, you beat somebody up. It's like the most polite mugging. Excuse me. Can I have all the cash in your wallet? No? Okay, well.
Doesn't hurt to ask, I suppose.
Doesn't hurt to ask. Alright, can I beat you up? Well, I didn't give you the cash, so I guess it's only fair. Oh, thanks.
I'm a believer in compromise, so sure. Kick my ass.
I am a believer of the Stoic school of thought in philosophy.
I believe Maddie F is on vacation right now. How's that vacation, Maddie F and Vam Pleb? Hope it's going good.
Oh my god. You guys deserve a vacation.
They're living large.
You guys have been essential workers technically this whole time, so you never even got the break that a lot of people got.
It's true.
Even though a lot of people's break was, you know, they would watch somebody they love die. But you know, you got didn't get to have even like a regular break. You had to go to work every day.
Excuse me, real quick. Your Hamburg burglar is still visible, dude. Is that intentional?
It's invisible for me, but
oh, okay.
You know, when you make a layer invisible in this program, it's only for one person. So.
Do you wanna?
Want me to delete
that?
the
Then I'll save this. Or I mean, unless you mean. Remove one or the other, and then I'll save. But at least can you get rid of the photo so that I can snap that real quick?
I made
Maddie,
this photo. What are you talking about?
oh wow, look at him. He is just like before. That's a nice smile. That's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's a nice fella.
Maddie F says we're being watched around the campfire right now, actually.
Oh, God, I wish we could give you a better show.
We're being watched.
To watch.
What, better than this? I don't think that's possible.
Is it?
We're being watched in multiple ways that we never expected. Leviathan Den is watching us in VR.
Oh, yeah.
And Maddie F is watching us by a campfire.
That is actually a very
Pretty
eclectic series of ways to have our show be viewed.
Not the ways I'd expect. I usually just expect it to not be viewed at all, but that's it's really something.
Really, just the fact that anyone's getting eyes on this thing is a fucking surprise.
When I put the photo back on, it adds this like gross texture underneath the drawing that I hate
the
now.
Arms.
Ew.
Ew.
It's really upsetting.
Oh my god. What if you erased just enough of the photo so it got rid of the background and it was just what your drawing covered?
Maddie F says, tweeted at McDonald's. Hi, I'm Grimace.
Oh no. Hey McDonald's, just want to let you know, this is what the Grimace looks like now.
I don't know why they pick a guy that he like fits the costume perfectly. They have to like squeeze him in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
Skin tight.
I think it's probably the
skin tight. That
of
costume.
all the costumes, that was probably the worst costume to be in. Are you saying it was skin tight around him? Like that's what the guy actually just looked like?
Well, yeah, that's how I drew him. It was the same shape.
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying if that were the true.
If that was the truth. Oh god, that's worse. That was like in SpongeBob when they fucking. Oh god, that's somehow.
Oh my god.
Somehow managed to turn up the ante on that thing.
That's
on
disgusting.
how terrible looking it is.
That makes me sick. I'm gonna go vomit real quick.
Okay.
No, I'm actually gonna use the bathroom, not to puke, but Maddie F says it's not cute anymore. You're right. It's very upsetting. I hate it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just gonna real quick delete. Oh wait, I forgot. Last time Brandon left, I started doing this corner. So I guess I should do another sports corner. So, score is 6-3 the other day on a football match between the two guys who played football with each other. No one watched it, and it was a friendly scrimmage, but the score is still being reported by me. So there you go. The other day we had a game, but it was postponed due to rainy weather. I can now confirm that that game is officially canceled because the people playing that game decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So that game is canceled. The winner is everyone who didn't want to go see it. And in tennis news today, emotions erupted out on the court when it turns out it was not 40-love. It was only 40-15, and that's a higher score, but it didn't have the word love in it, so people were kind of bummed about that. Or is love when both people have the same score? I don't remember. Pretty sure it's when they both have the same score, which is great because then it's love. 40-love. And more sports corner news. Lance Armstrong still canceled. And more sports news. You watching sports? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's all about that yardage. That's right. Matty F here with the sports corner, telling Ian what to say with the sports corner, because Matty F actually watches sports. Fun fact about football that everyone didn't know is that it is played with a ball. And anyways, well, people call it a ball, but it's not. What the fuck is that thing? It is not a ball. That is a Nerf whistle football, if I have ever seen one. And I like to imagine that the whistle football existed before the actual football. Nerf came up with the football design and added those painful whistle attachments to it. And then football copied the design. And they were just like, this is ours now. We're going to make a big sport out of it. Brandon, I heard you come back. Did you ever play with those? You ever have those like Nerf footballs that would also make a whistle, like that had like these little?
You know, as a child, when I had to choose toys, my basic like rule of thumb was like that it was either Nerf or that it was going to be nothing.
Or nothing.
So yeah, I played with them.
You had the whistle football?
Yeah, I had that football.
Did that thing fucking hurt your hands whenever you tried to catch it, like it did for my delicate little hands?
When I feel like there was the foam technology has come a long way since when we were kids. I think it was like closer to plastic in some ways, those toys.
Well, so, it wasn't the foam that would hurt. It was the whistles on the ball.
Oh.
Like
yeah, because that was just hard plastic, like sticking off the side.
It was just fucking a hard plastic like thing with like a little like hole dug into it, like just to like make it whistle when it flew through the air, which really did nothing aside from the whistle noise, which I guess was enough to sell a whole toy off of it.
I was gonna say, it did everything. It was a whistle first and a football second.
Like, I would rather, like, when I was a kid and I had that thing around, I would rather get tackled than try and catch one of those fucking footballs. Like, that shit hurt. That's all.
It just got upsetting again when I removed the line art.
Oh my god.
How does it keep getting grosser?
What are you doing? How are you making this worse every time?
Oh, I'm not trying to do this.
It looks like it's made out of meat. It looks like you put like a fucking pile of like rotting meat and then put a shirt on it.
It's so upsetting.
It kind of looks like Tony Soprano a little bit, like in the later seasons that I haven't seen yet, I assume.
What if I? Okay, I don't
It's a shame that, like, James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano, like, fucking killing it. By the way, like, again, as someone who hasn't seen the show before, watching it for the first time, just seen the first season. First of all, I didn't realize that in the episode of It's Always Sunny, the gang gets whacked. Like, I didn't realize that the guy they got to be the mobster was one of the dudes from The Sopranos. So it's basically just like a big reference to The Sopranos that he's in that episode.
That's funny.
Which I enjoy. But also, so like James Gandolfini, he plays Tony Soprano. He's fucking amazing, and he's dead now, which is a shame. He just seemed like a cool guy. He died like a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
I want to say like.
I guess I knew that, but for some reason I thought you were saying like he died while the show was being made, and I was like, I didn't realize that. But I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, no, he died after, but it was like a heart condition or something like that. But the funniest thing, like, he's great in that show, but there is one scene of acting that James Gandolfini has done that I think tops everything that he's ever done, ever, and it's so good. If I could remember the movie, I should. I'll Google it at some point if I finish this drawing. But it's this movie. It's got Aaron Eckhart in it. It's got James Gandolfini was in it. No, maybe it wasn't James Gandolfini. It was some guy. I should probably look up if it's James Gandolfini, because if it's not, it's a big fucking swing and a miss for this little thing. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a scene. If this guy is played by James Gandolfini, that's great. If it's not, some other guy, and I can think of maybe who it might be. But the movie is about like these people who lost something somehow traumatically or something like that, and then they're all going to like a grief like motivational speaker guy who's played by Aaron Eckhart, and then he gets involved in the personal lives of some of these people he's like giving these speeches to, including one guy who like was a carpenter. The guy who I think was played by James Gandolfini, but possibly not. But he's a carpenter who like used to hammer and nail and all these things, but like ever since some tragic accident happened, he's been too afraid to hammer. And it was a pretty boring movie. But then at the very end of the movie, there's like a scene where they all go to like. Aaron Eckhart has this great epiphany. He's gonna get everyone to conquer their fears. He takes them all to like a fucking like Home Depot or some shit like that, where they all like are taken to an aisle that has the fear they're conquering or whatever. And the one guy, who I think is James Gandolfini, but now I'm almost confident it's not. he like never started doing carpentry again after like his accident, and so then he picks up a hammer, and like he's just got the hammer at his side, and then like his like character's looking the one way, and then his hand just starts going. And then the guy looks down at his side, that like his hand that's holding the hammer, and he sees his hand just like fucking muscle memory, like doing the hammer motion against the air, like against nothing, and like it's funnier to see it than it is to explain it. That's it though. That's the whole thing. Is that's how the guy conquers his fear of
may or may
being
not
afraid
be
to do.
James Gandolfini.
May or may not be James Gandolfini. It actually might have been the guy who was the serial killer at the first season of True Detective. I don't know. Just gonna real quick see if I can find this fucking movie. It's just so stupid, okay? I don't know why I brought this up. It's not even, it's more visual than it is anything. But the fact that like there's a serious movie where it's like these people are overcoming their grief. And then like the one guy's like he can't do his job anymore because he's so terrified. And then like he conquers it by he just like has a hammer in his hand, and then like his hammer just starts like he just starts like air hammering. I don't know. This shit is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
You said it's
I'm
real?
sorry that
like
this is. What was that?
It's like a real thing, or is it like a movie?
No, it's a fucking movie. It's like a fucking romantic comedy, I think.
At the end, I thought you said it was. I thought you said it was real. That's why I was confused.
Oh no. It's a very visual sort of like moment, I guess. I can't even think of like what the movie would be. It was so stupid though. I'm sorry. This is a very pointless.
Matty F says this is more Italiophobia.
Oh yeah, with the Sopranos. But yeah, I don't know. I guess the reason I brought it up is that at least once a week, I think of that guy just standing there, and then like his hand starts doing the hammering into nothing.
Learning to
and then
hammer
like that's
again.
him being like, "Oh hey, I can hammer again." It's like he forgot how to hammer, but his muscle memory kicked in. It's just whatever they were trying to sell with that scene ended up making me laugh very, very hard, and it's pointless for me to.
You know what?
If I ever
Sounds like a funny scene, Ian. So there you go.
Thank you. I'm glad you saved me from that one because I was struggling
It sounds
for
great.
quite a while.
Do you remember what,
So
what
good.
that's
Thank
called?
you. I'm glad you think so. What was that?
You remember what that was called or what that's from?
The movie? I'm looking it up right now. I'm just gonna Google Aaron Eckhart grief counselor. Love Happens.
Okay.
A widower whose book about coping with loss turns him into a best-selling self-help guru falls for the hotel florist, where a seminar is given, only to learn that he hasn't yet truly confronted his wife's passing. And the guy who played the hammer guy was John Carroll Lynch, was not James Gandolfini, and he was one of the guys in Fargo. He was like the big bald guy in Fargo. I don't know how else to describe this guy. What else has he been in? I've recognized him in things, but he's never been like the main character, you know?
Okay. I probably would recognize him too.
Anyways. I'm just gonna see if I can find this. It's just, now that I've said it and made it a big deal out of this scene, I'm gonna see if I can find this.
You never
scene.
finish your drawing, Ian, and it's 10:05. I hope you know.
I know.
You fail.
I think I found it.
You fail.
While this
We're
fucking
fighting.
YouTube ad plays.
This episode brought to you by McDonald's. Stop on in
Yeah,
to
seriously.
your nearest McDonald's and get yourself triple cheeseburger for only $1. Get on down to
Get on
McDonald's.
Why don't you go on down and get on and get it?
Tell them
Why don't you
the
go
Draw
on
Boy sent you, and they'll throw in a free strawberry milkshake.
They'll be like, hell yeah. Oh, that is not okay. Wow. Okay. I tried Googling that scene to see if I can find it, even though no one's gonna find it as funny as I did in that moment. Because again, very melodramatic movie, just the stupidest fucking thing they could have to have be like, this guy was afraid to hammer and now he can hammer again. But I Googled Love Happens hammer scene. Obviously nothing was gonna pop up. I don't think anyone even ever saw that movie. But then when I Googled Love Happens hammer scene and I put Love Happens in quotes, just a full page of gay porn. So I don't know what I was missing. But anyways.
But at least that porn was based around people finding love. I mean, that's kind of heartwarming.
That's true. If you think about it, all porn is just the part of the story where the people have fallen in love.
Right, because you can't get to that point unless you've fallen in love.
Can't have sex without love. That is a fact. So many people have said that to me as to reasons why we shouldn't. And I'm like, I get it. Not gonna push.
I like what you're doing here. I didn't know what the goal was, but I see it now.
Should I give him the Ronald McDonald hair, or should I keep it like the Terminator hair?
Terminator hair, but red. If you're planning on coloring this.
I wasn't sure if I was going to or not, but I feel like the coloring will really help sell what I'm trying to get across here.
I'm not super set on completing my Ronald McDonald because I don't know why I made it.
Just kind of a goofy Ronald McDonald.
But I am going to. When you're done, I'll be done. How about that?
Okay, that works for me. Just let me know when you want to be done, because
I have
said so
around
much
8
dumb
o'clock.
shit
I was ready.
Oh man, me too.
No, I'm just kidding. I have fun. I have a gay old time.
Does that hammer scene sound funny at all to anybody?
What?
Did I just describe a scene from a movie I didn't care about? For no one to understand the visual imagery I'm trying to
funny, but being the entire joke is a visual joke, it's kind of hard to...
Yeah. Well, it's not even a joke. It's they weren't trying to be funny. They were trying to be
really
emotional.
Oh, well, that makes it very funny if they were actually playing straight.
It's like a very serious romantic like it's barely a comedy. It's more like a romantic movie about grief and like dealing with the loss of your wife in a car accident or something like that. I forget how.
There's usually some even in extreme dramas, there's usually some comic relief to some degree sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought this was one of the more quirkier people in class who have a sillier thing they have to get over.
No, this was like a serious. This is like one of the other main plots of the movie is he's trying to solve this guy's problem with his hammer thing.
Wow.
He just fucking starts air hammering it's I don't know why it's so funny, and it's not gonna help because no one. I have to find the scene and I have to post it into the Discord because otherwise I'm just talking about it still.
I guess you'll just have to Google some more love hammer
gay porn
and dig through it all to find.
Dig through all that gay porn.
I don't want to do this, but I have to. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, geez, the guy roll my sleeves up. But I don't know, man. Just the fucking. I think it's really the fact that he's like. Again, it's all in the way. It's all in the visuals. Is like he's hammering at his side. And then he looks down at his hand like he just now realized that his hand was like hammering, and he's like,
"You're doing it, Peter!
I can do
You're doing it!"
So stupid. I don't know. This stupid.
Yeah, it sounds pretty dumb. I thought it was meant to be funny in the movie too, so I was like, all right, I guess it's a funny.
That was like a big emotional crescendo of that movie.
I see.
I just started the thing is we were watching it and then I started cracking up, and then because I started laughing, my ex, who understood immediately what I was laughing about, also started laughing. That was just a joke between us for a while. It was just very funny, and I think about that, just him being like, "Oh, my hand's hammering," at least once a week, and I don't know why. And I thought about it. I thought I'd tell everybody.
Sometimes
I regret it.
When there are scenes or things in life that are actually sad, people who are embarrassed to cry will then laugh as a defense mechanism, and I think that's what happened to you, Ian. I think you saw this very dramatic scene, and you have chosen to laugh it off, even though inside.
So
It was very relatable. Spoke to the human condition. Made you
so
put yourself into the shoes of someone who may lose their ability to hammer. As someone who hammers a lot,
it's not like he couldn't hammer.
It's a scary
was
thing to think
physically
about.
capable the whole time.
You had the power inside you all along. You could have hammered the whole time.
That's right. Also, I just going off because it's not funny unless I find the scene. If you ever do have somebody insulting you and you just respond back to them very, very nicely, I'm calling that the Ted Lasso move from now on because that's kind of like that dude's whole bread and butter. What was that?
I still need to watch that. I've heard it's good.
Very good show.
You and other people. So.
So I found this out, but there were two. So like when they did the second season, they thought that they had 10 episodes like the first season, but Apple was like, nah, man, we went 12 episodes, but they'd already written the first season. So the two of the episodes in season 2 were just kind of written after the fact as like filler, and I think we definitely watched the second one. That's it. That's that story. But anyways, in Ted Lasso, he has a tendency to like someone would be like really shitty to him, and he'll just be like the nicest guy ever back to them, genuinely too. And then that ends up working out for him. That's kind of like the crux of the show.
He's just kind of like naive.
No, he's not naive at all. As you find out, like you find out
guy.
more in the as the show goes on, that he's not naive. He's just like a nice guy who I think wants people to be happy.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain because in season 2 right now where I'm at, it's like kind of like playing an emotional arc for his character, but I don't know like what the payoff's gonna be, so I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I'll just watch it. You don't have to tell me too much.
Yeah. It's on Apple TV.
The less I know, the better.
Yeah, the less you know, the better. We came into it not knowing damn like anything at all. The one cousin who I had visited, were you there when we you were at the table and I was
one of your cousins.
Yeah, like the one in Chicago, when we went to the diner or like the bar, like you were there for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I brought Austin or if I brought you, but I remember bringing you.
Oh, not forgettable, huh? Great.
You said wait?
No, I said great. When I found out.
Oh, I thought you said wait, and I was like, but yeah. So he we were talking the one night, and he was just like, yeah, you should watch Ted Lasso. It's a very good show, and I like it a lot. And I was like, okay. I've seen things about that show. This was before it won all the awards this year. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then I was like, hey, we should watch it. And then people apparently really, really liked the show, and it won all those awards. And we happened to start watching it at the perfect time, I guess. So.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. I've heard good things. As I said, I don't really have anything new to watch besides the stuff I'm watching, so I'll take a look.
I recommend it. It's on Apple TV, which we only have that because I don't even know how we have Apple TV.
I don't have it, but I could probably I could get it or find some way to watch shows that I want to watch on there.
Anything you can sign up for a free trial, just binge, or you get 1 month and just watch all the shows that are on there that might interest you or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. Ian, do you have anything to plug?
Oh God, definitely the movie Love Happens with Aaron Eckhart and the Hammer.
Hammers in general, or the scene from the movie?
Just, I would actually endorse hammers in general. They're a pretty solid, solid tool. I've never really steered me wrong.
It's a useful tool. It's needed when you need to pound something.
Yeah, into submission. I'm just gonna fucking cover this. I'm done trying to draw this. Anyways, other than that, I mean, I do this fucking show, 8 p.m.s Eastern time every Monday. Where basically this one crazy dude just talks about fucking scenes from movies that you can't watch, because you're not there. And
they can watch the movies too.
Yeah, I guess you could probably find it somewhere. But we do it every Monday. It's called DrawBomb. Check it out.
I think you'll like it.
I hope so.
Yeah, it would be bad if you
I don't
don't.
know who would like hearing me talk, but thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, what were we going to say?
I have the same plug. Check it out. DrawBomb. I mean, you're
Check
here
it
now.
out.
If you're here now, we appreciate you. We had
You're here, your family.
exactly. We had Matty F. We had Leviathan Den. We had Van Pleb. We had the Captain Sheepy.
Here's Morgan. Van Flev is Morgan.
That's
You
true.
had Captain Sheepy.
I think that might be everyone, but we appreciate you all for coming out,
Yeah.
having fun with us. I had a
Thank
great
you.
time. I was laughing a lot at the disgusting grimace and some other things as
Oh
well.
my god, that fucking grimace. That was definitely the highlight. You all watched 2 hours for that grimace highlight right there, I think. And we appreciate it.
One
We
of them.
appreciate
I
it.
mean, we draw a lot of shit on here, and that was one of the more upsetting things I've ever made on the show. I think.
I think so. Why is that ketchup and mustard on your Ronald McDonald? I hope
Yes,
so.
of course. What else would it be?
No.
He works in a hamburger shop.
Kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies the way you drew him.
It's ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup and mustard. What are you talking about? Oh gosh. I mean, we just plugged everything, but we still have
Yeah.
a little bit of time before I finish coloring all this. So,
Okay. Well, I can stall a little longer.
have you
that's
ever
no
seen something in a movie involving hammers that really made you laugh?
problem. The answer has to be yes, right? But I can't. But what?
Like a Three Stooges or like?
Oh yeah, there was the one where Curly kills Moe with a hammer. I never thought it was gonna happen, and then I was
It's a really dark
surprised
episode.
me. Yeah, really surprised the hell out of me. But he just bashed his head in. It was pretty graphic. I'm surprised they got away
Yeah.
with it at that time.
The makeup on that head wound was really realistic.
It was really realistic. It was. I had to Google to see, make sure it was all effects, and it was, thank God. But yeah, it was hard to watch. Hard to watch.
Hard to watch.
Hard
to watch.
That's such a specific question. And I feel like I struggle in general when you ask me things like on the spot. I very rarely have like
I have
answer.
noticed that.
I'm sorry about that, but
It's okay.
in this case, it's not my fault. Normally, it's my fault. This time, it's your fault. Your
Yeah,
fault.
I can't think of any. I can think of a couple. Do you have any scenes from movies that you've seen that stick out in your mind that involve hammers in general?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Thor 2. There was a scene where he has aim,
nice.
and the monster is like, "I'm gonna kill you, Thor," and he's like, "Not if I have anything to say about it." And he swings at him.
Dude, look at that! You nailed it. You did it. You
Sorry,
answered the
spoilers. Spoilers for Thor 2.
Wow. Yeah, if you haven't seen every Marvel movie, go out and have a marathon. Have an 8-day marathon of all the Marvel movies.
Leviathan Den says, "Good night, DrawBomb fan. Good night. Thanks for watching. We
Thank you
appreciate
so much
it."
for watching. I'm almost done with this, Arnold. I swear. I guess we could probably play the theme song. Or I guess no, the theme song starts looping then if we
It's
play
true.
it too soon.
Ian, what was your favorite Ronald McDonald cartoon that you watched on a bus on a way to a field trip? Which episode was your favorite?
It was the one where the Hamburglar stole something of the bird ladies, and she was very sad, and they had to go and confront the Hamburglar about it. And then I forget if the Hamburglar, I mean, he obviously gave it back by the end, or else the whole.
Was this
fucking thing
animated, or
would
was
be
this like the some live action stuff?
This one was cartoon, but there were some. But she did also bring some live action DVDs onto that
There was
bus,
some
so
weird
if you
ass
watched
like
it, back.
promotional like entertainment that was like pretty prevalent when we were kids. There was one that for some reason sticks out in my head that's really ugly also, called Timmy the Tooth, and it was like a dental. Oh, you probably do you know about this? Your dad.
I mean, my dad
Dad's
never
in
was a
the
big Timmy the
dental.
Tooth guy. Or
I just didn't.
anything. I know
I
what
mean,
you're talking about.
do these worlds collide? Dentistry and are you familiar with Timmy the Tooth?
I know I've seen. I know I used to have a couple of VHSs of Timmy the Tooth. I know I had a couple.
It's ugly. It's
I
really
remember
ugly.
one. It's very ugly. I remember one. Like I think they used to scare the shit out of me as a kid, which is why we didn't really.
Yeah,
watch them
the
all.
bad guy is like a green like monster.
Bad Tooth, right?
I think the bad guy is like a germ or something.
Oh, because I remember
Or a
the one
cavity.
episode of Timmy the Tooth. There was like a bad tooth or something like that, and eventually like the tooth got turned good by getting cleaned or pulled or something.
The
like
bad
that,
guy
but-
is called the Cavity Goon.
Ugh. That just sounds bad. The word cavity is such a gross word. I don't know why.
Your dad
Was the word cavity
taught
gross
you
before?
that it's gross.
Yeah. Was the word
Exactly.
well, anything's a cavity. Like your mouth is a cavity.
I know, but I'm just saying you have like
Yeah.
automatic bad connotations.
Two cavities. See if you can find like a Timmy the Tooth where there's like a bad aggressive
bad tooth.
because
Okay.
I remember that
Timmy the
scaring the
Tooth,
shit out of me as a kid.
evil tooth. I mean,
Or like a
the
mean
the
tooth.
Cavity Goon is pretty gross looking. It's
yeah,
like
I don't know.
he's like the Grinch, but like he has sharp teeth. He's like Oscar the Grouch meets the Grinch meets a fucking monster.
Let's look him up real quick. Cavity Goon. I remember that guy. Timmy the Tooth's Operation Secret Birthday Surprise. Yeah, I remember the cavity thing. I think I saw Timmy in Space. I remember Timmy in Space, and I just remember there being like a bad tooth. I remember there was like a shitty, it was like a larger aggressive tooth. I don't know how to.
There's a gingivitis gang, which is it's a bunch of monsters. I don't know. They just hate teeth. I wonder if in the show their goal is to drill holes into Timmy's body.
Oh my god. That would be fucking horrifying as a kid. Like, I'd be like,
I have
waking
to
up in a
imagine
cold
that's not
sweat.
the case, but
Yeah. I'd be waking up like in the middle of the night as a cold sweat as a kid. If that were the case, I'd be like, they're gonna drill holes in me. And parents would be like, damn, that kid's having some fucked up dreams. What
he
movies do we
always
let him
brushes
watch?
his teeth though. It's very good
Yeah,
about
he
it.
always brushes his teeth. Uses that scope. Uses that floss. This episode brought to you by Scope. Anyways, you can start playing the outro theme song. I think this Ronald McDonald is
All right.
pretty much done.
I mean, that's him.
Yeah, I
That's the
forgot to
guy.
make his face white.
Yeah, you should make his face white.
But you can start playing that.
All right.
That's
Play us
I
out.
think. All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Is this the Bossa Nova one that played today? The Bossa Nova DrawBomb theme song remix brought to you by Ian, me. If you want to add your own remixes, you can join in. Send them
Yeah,
to our
you should
Discord.
do that.
Go
Find the
off and have a
Discord.
bunch of remixes.
Yeah. Join that.
Yeah, look at
Make your own. And we will all have fun.
that's right. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.